Yes, big up, good people. I hope you all can hear me this beautiful morning. It's been a while and I miss you all. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show today. I hope you all sleep eating blue, sleeping blue, waking up blue, and overall living the blue life. More importantly, welcome back to the Blue Morning Show. Thank you once again. I miss you all, like I've said before. I'm going to get straight into it. Today, we're going to review uh, tomorrow's game, Chelsea versus Real Madrid, that will take place at Stamford Bridge. And also, but I think we'll start by discussing some news out there with regards to the manager search, and also any other news that may be out there. Some you raised by yourself, but I think we'll have enough time to talk about them today. Before anything else, but thank you so much for being patient with me while some dental procedure not done yet, but I think the remaining aspect of it won't be that much. And I also had to travel for Easter. Take a few days break, a refresh, and be ready for you. So let's go. What do we have in the chart already? Here we have big up coach. Why have not been online for a while, like I've explained before the show started. But I'll explain further later on. But not right now. We have a show to host. Big up to you, Namaya. I hope you're doing well. I hope you enjoyed your Easter. I would love to see Mudrik start. I would like to see him start. A lot of people that were doubting him, we didn't hear much of a complaint with regards to his performance on the day against Brighton. A very, very good Brighton side, well drilled. Played as a unit, better. They were better on all in all departments. Could have been worse, but we were lucky they weren't that clinical in front of goal. But still, it was an embarrassing performance. But that's why we move on from that. I hope to see him start. He showed he's better than most people, has made him out to be. Some say he has a bad touch. I don't think he has a bad touch. And he's still 22. He still has a long way to go in his footballing career. And I think he'll become better over time. What else do we have here? Big up to you too, JC. I hope you're doing well. And JC reporting here, Kachila had been busy. He just returned from London after lengthy talks and interview with Todd Barley and co. I wish. Believe me, I don't think I'm the best coach in the whole world, but I think I do better with this crop of players. But let's move on from that. By the way, what else do we have? I am guessing it was Kachila who suggested to Frank to start Mudrik at left wing. Well, if you give me that credit, I'll take it. But it wasn't me, and I know you know it wasn't me. Really, everyone was impressed with Kachila in London, but eventually Kachila is refusing to relocate to London. I think you know my situation. But big up to you, JC. Much love, and hopefully someone in the chat will have the time to join us. I nearly did postpone this show, but I said no. It's been a while. We have to start. We have to start kicking again. You can see my green screen isn't working because I'm using the wrong browser. The other browser for some reason isn't working. But that's by the way. That's it. Again, I am done now, ladies and gentlemen. That was latest news from Jericho Comano. Yep, JC, big up, brother. Always nice to see you. JC here says, Santiago Munoz, nice to see you, brother. He says, morning, Kuchila, panel and chat. Morning to you too. What else do we have here? Good morning, everyone. Rafista, good morning to you too. And please, people, keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. Let's see how many likes we can get today. I know a lot of people wouldn't know that we're back streaming, but we can do at least with 50 likes. If we can get it to 100, I will take it and I will celebrate that. And their plans, it depends on how many people we'll have today. We're going to do the month of April students giveaway. We didn't make much from the membership, but I think I'll make it up to do something substantial for any lucky student that's been a member. And we know all our students here. Dusted Wash Club in World Football. Here's the thing. I'm going to say something that I've said before. I get it. We're all concerned. We all have questions. We're all not happy with the given the manner at which the new owners, the way they've handled the whole thing at the club, the firing of Thomas Tuchel, hiring of Graham Potter, taking the whole time they took to fire him, and then bringing in Frank Lampard as an interim manager, even though the argument was that he comes in, he knows the club in and out, knows what it takes to be a Chelsea manager, knows what it takes to play for Chelsea Football Club, and also the positive vibes. But I haven't seen that. If anything, more division in the fan base. But we'll move on from that. But again, the truth remains, I still believe in the future of the club. We have a very, very bright future. Like I usually say, believe me, the future of Chelsea Football Club is so bright that you need glasses, protective glasses, to look at it, so you don't hurt your eyes while looking at it. But I've always been concerned of the club's immediate future, and it turns out I've been correct all the while. I have a feeling we'll end up with German Potter. I wouldn't call him German Potter. I think he's done better than Potter. He took, I think it was Leipzig, to the semi-finals of the Champions League. He's won a trophy. He won a trophy at Bayern. I think how many? 3 trophies at Bayern. One at I think Hoffenheim. I don't remember, but I think he's done better as a manager than Potter actually. But given the choices that have been rumored, that's made it to the final list, Enrique is my first choice for obvious reasons. He's more experienced, has won nine trophies in total. And in 2014, 2015, he emerged as the world's best club coach. So that's a lot. But again, I think there are other factors that the club will most likely consider. And Chelsea all the way, my bro. He says now Chelsea saw the real Caicedo. Man single-handedly destroyed the Chelsea's midfield. People should put respect on my talent ID. I respect that, and I've always told you, every time you and I have a fight with regards whether we should sign Caicedo or not, the price tag has always been the issue, and I knew we weren't going to sign him, and at the same time sign Enzo at the time we signed Enzo. But yeah, I think if we can sign him, I'd take him. I don't need to watch that game to know how good he is. The problem is we have a financial situation that we must sort out before buying players. And I'm sure you're well acquainted with the story. Again, yeah, how much loss in the last fiscal year. Now Chelsea saw the real Caicedo. I've read that one. Hello everyone. Big up, Pachila. Big up to you too, brother. I hope you're doing well. Let's see, Constantin Dante. Big up, bro. It's been a minute, and I miss you guys a lot. I have to be honest. From Kenya, Jason Kitinji. Nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join in the show, Jason. Everybody would win trophy at Bayern except for Pochettino. I think that's some disrespect for Pochettino. Pochettino actually is a good manager, if we're being honest. Look how, even again, ill-equipped. He was ill-equipped, you could say, at Tottenham. He took him to the Champions League final, took him to a couple of finals. But because they don't have that age edge in terms of the quality they have within their squad, they weren't able to win anything. Not down to him. He had practically a team that should be languishing in the mid-table, but he, on occasions, I think once at one point, nearly won the league with them. That's how good he is. But I get it because he coached a London rival. I know the focus was on him that he wasn't able to win anything with them. It'd be difficult for the Chelsea fans to accept him. Y'all see, we're going crazy in the Bundesliga. We're very going crazy in the Bundesliga. Yeah, it's more suitable to him. Lots of space for him to operate, and you know him. He struggles without space to operate. My bro, the blue, to forget, big up, bro. Welcome back, coach. I hope you had a good break. Yep, a good one indeed. I wanted to ask if you were granted a 5 minutes face-to-face interview with Todd Bowley. What would you say? And you're not allowed to use your fist. I have quite a lot to say. For instance, you can say present my understanding of the individual players in the squad. Present the reason why I believe we've been struggling, and let them know we should be doing better than we did on the ground, Potter, and that we're doing under Frank Lampard. It's as simple as that. Maybe beyond that, depends whatever else response I present depends on the question. There's subsequent questions that they ask me. Also, am I the only one that sees how incredibly selfish Zhao is? You could say that, but when a player is that selfish, it's up to the manager, the person in charge, to call his attention and say, "Hey, you need to try and find your teammate. You don't necessarily have to be the one to score goals for us." I don't know how anybody sees it, but that's how I see it. And that's why, again, sorry to talk about Thomas Tuchel again. His stance on the touchline and the player plays the ball backwards when he doesn't want him, when they should progress the ball. You see him yell angrily at the player. That's why I'm saying if you feel like he's too selfish, yeah, I get it. I've observed that myself. But it's up to the person in charge to say, hey, you need to be doing less of this. Try and find your teammates, your better positioned teammates, so that we can get goals. It's a team sport, not an individual sport. If you want individual glory, going to table tennis singles and all that, if that makes sense. But thank you. Nice to see you, Louis Rivera. I hope you've been well. The Prince is here. Big up Kachila, big up Bobby, big up Chelsea family. Please like everyone. How are you doing? I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well too. And please, guys, if you're watching, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream. And also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Let's get the likes up as soon as possible. And if you're a mod in the chat, keep reminding the people in the chat to keep beefing up the like. The likes do go a long way. Yeah, man, you will miss. I miss you guys too, brother. I went on some other channels, but not really interested in. I am loyal. We appreciate that. Again, the whole channels that present content differently. Maybe you prefer this one for some reason, I don't know. But I appreciate you saying that. Thank you so much. What else do we have here? Enrique is my first choice for the manager. And in 5-6 years, Ruben Amorim, the new Mourinho. I think Ruben is actually more progressive than Mourinho. Mourinho is not progressive. He's stuck with the old ways of doing things. Find a way to win. It doesn't have to be beautiful, no matter who they're playing against, if that makes sense. But I get your argument. Potter came in and blamed Tuchel's preseason. Lampard came in and blamed Potter's and blamed Potter's firmness regime. Chelsea moving up from crap to crap, water shambles. For the first time ever, I have to agree, it has been crap to crap. I wanted Potter when I heard that Tuchel was fired. And then at one point, it didn't take me 3 matches to start asking questions whether he was the right man or not. It took him a while to fire him. But the worst mistake, actually, you could say, even worse than ever, was that when we had the opportunity to use the new manager bounce, get a capable manager, try to beat Real Madrid in the quarterfinal stages of the Champions League, again, progress to the semifinals, we went and brought in Frank Lampard. I didn't like that. No disrespect to him. I respect him. He's a club legend. I know that. And nobody's going to take away from him. Even I heard that Enrique was raring to be the guy to face a Real Madrid, to be the one in the dugout against Real Madrid. Why not give it to him for that alone? For me, if I were in charge, I would have said, okay, let's do that. And if you beat them, then you have the job. Honestly, why didn't they give it to him? And of course they said no. I just don't know why. Yeah, it's been a circus, really. Kachila, we lost 3 managers already, and the 4th one isn't doing well. All we're waiting for a panelist opinion on that. Yep, again, Excel sheet for 433. Yeah, when Roger comes in, he comes in with his spreadsheet and probably with some stats we don't know he's been keeping. Records we didn't know he's been keeping. Chelsea players on holiday already. They don't really care, especially Lampard are coming in for a few games and telling them off. Yeah, it doesn't make sense, and it's practically throwing them under the bus. Yeah, I get it. I get again. I asked a question on Twitter that it doesn't make any sort of sense going for Frank Lampard, who literally dragged Everton into relegation battle, and they hired him as the manager to help. Even if you want to say hold the fort until we hire a permanent manager, it still doesn't make any sort of sense. But yeah, I get murdered cooked on Twitter for even talking about it. Kachila, is it your third scream on the third different managers? Good question. You could say that. You could actually say that. But do you think Nagelsmann can control Chelsea dressing room? With full egos, we must be very careful in choice of coach. That's the thing. More importantly, It's your, let's say, his one stop again with Bayern and I think Hoffenheim. I think if you know what you're doing, those you lead will follow your lead. They will respect you. The problem is, for instance, in the case of Frank Lampard, I get it. He's a club legend. He's won, been there, seen it. Again, won quite a lot, and is currently again the club's top scorer or all-time scorer. But yeah, that can earn you so much respect. If you don't know what you're doing, those you lead will start questioning your ability to lead and will not trust whatever instructions you give them. So that was my argument, and I got cooked for that. And in the case of Lampard, losing 3 games in a row, and then in publicly saying the players didn't fight and all that, he's throwing them under the bus. I know they respect him, but behind him, they'll be going, look at them. It couldn't even coach Everton, something like that. But I'm not here to talk about that much. We'll have some news to cover, and we have a match to preview, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I don't think it's about what you've won or all that. If you know what you're doing, again, somebody, famous said, I hate mentioning his name again, so it doesn't look like I haven't moved on from him. Process without results. Again, the players wouldn't trust the process if they're not seeing progress or results per se. So again, you have to see results you have to show you know what you're doing. And if the strategy you tell, again, your instructions you give the players, if you walk on the pitch, and they'll trust you. But if it's not working, they're not going to trust you. It's as simple as that, really. Let me see. Some fake bot accounts are circulating news that Enrique wanted to start before Real Madrid game. I heard that too. And if that was the case and they said no, then it doesn't make any sort of sense. Coach, I guarantee that Chelsea would have had 5 managers by the end of the season. We'll have had 5 managers by the end of the season. I hope that's not the case. Luis is my choice. He is his more experienced of the two. But if we end up getting Nagelsmann, I'll take him. Our wing backs were getting destroyed. We were lucky. Our midfield played well against Brighton. It could have been 4-1. Wow, they were the better side. At one point, they had a possession 70%, and we had just 30%. Again, they outplayed us in every department. And I hate to say this, we actually played better on the ground than we played on the Frank Lampard. I don't care who comes at me and says I'm wrong. No, I'm not wrong. Go check it, really. It's just a fact. And I think Lampard also, I think he's making the same mistake that Graham Potter made, trying to make too many changes at the same time, or trying to just implement it his own way. Just keep it simple. Just do something that the players are familiar with, and then tweak it a little bit, and not make a wholesome change, if that makes sense. Lampard is saying the players aren't running enough. Basically, his tactics is to run not good enough. Yeah, you could argue that. I know he's into running. I remember him saying, quite vividly saying, he wants Callum Hudson-Odoi to be fit, and really fit, because he wants him to be doing a lot of running for him. He's into players doing a lot of running. I think he values the players' industry quite a lot. But I'm not going to go to the extent of saying even more than their technical ability, because I don't know that. How many of our players know how to ride a skateboard? They need to impress. That is another interesting one. I don't know. Disgruntled players are the problem. Sell them and tell those staying that it's up to them. How many disgruntled players would you say are the problems? I disagree with that. I think the issues we've had since the firing of Tuchel has always been the managers. At one point, I agree, we had a village of injured players, and that is a factor to consider when you talk about how badly we did on the ground, Potter. It's important to factor in the fact that we had a lot of players out injured and all that. Yeah, but I get it. That mostly, predominantly, the issues we've had since the firing of Thomas Tuchel comes down to the managers in charge. That's my argument. What did Bally see in Lampard? If there's any, almost got Everton relegated, but Bally still appointed him. Unbelievable. Yeah, I couldn't believe that myself. But the good thing is that we're learning from Fabrizio Romano that there's no part of the agreement that says he becomes a permanent manager, no matter how well he does. Coach, it looks like you were right. Arsenal have bottled the league. Haven't they? You could say that. I think they're going to bottle it. They still have to play us. The one game I think Frank Lampard will win is the Arsenal game. I think I think Man City will beat them also. I think they will bottle it. It would take Man City also fluffing it again. And I don't see Man City. You know, Man City. If you follow them since Pep started coaching them, once they pick up form, they don't drop. Every season they have that that hitch here and there, but once they pick up form, they don't drop. So you could say they're winning it again. I agree. Good morning, coach. It's been a while. Yeah, it's been our laddie Poopo. I hope you're doing well, brother. I miss you guys. Thank you so much for finding the time to join in the show. Chilwell makes me miss Marcos Alonso. Wing backs are supposed to be a goal threat. I feel bad for James. I think for James, again, Chilwell himself, his goals return when he was at his best weren't bad. You could say, I think him not scoring that many, you could say is down to a couple of factors. He's just coming back to the form that again he showed before he had that a long-term injury, and also the team overall isn't doing well. So that's why I refuse to isolate any player's performances or form and talk about it, because the whole thing, the team as a whole has been awful. Welcome back. Thank you so much, my bro from the Medieval land. You and I are beefing because you want Nagelsmann and I want Luis Enrique. But jokes aside, I'll take either of the two. They're both good managers, but preferably Luis Enrique. He's the more experienced of the two, has one more, been there in that more than Nagelsmann. So experience does matter. I know there are some people arguing that Nagelsmann has actually played more club football. Yeah, matter. Football is football, no matter where you gain the experience from. I need that sip of water there, so thank you for your patience. And the players have had 4 different managers in the dugout. If you also count Bruno, yep, you have to count him, who skipped a funeral for one game. The players must be really confused. Yeah, that's why it's important. I expected Frank not to change too much, but apparently it looks like he's changing quite a lot. Big up everyone, and hit the like button, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes do go along with. Thank you so much for all the support. I appreciate that. We're not beating Arsenal. We need goals for that. Okay, we'll see. Big up. Lampard has said he will play a 4 at the back on Tuesday. Might mistake if he does. Whatever I don't care. I could care less what he does right now. For me, and the Undertaker, big up to you. Whatever works, let him just do it. Destroy the like button, people. It takes only a second. Just click on it. It doesn't cost much. And for those of you that are watching, for some reason and not participating in the chat, we appreciate that. You watching alone, again, does go a long way for the channel. But if you can do us one tiny bit of favor, take a second, drop a like on the stream. We'd really appreciate that. And also do subscribe if you haven't. Thank you so much for all your support. We appreciate that. Let's see what else we have here. Chilwell is playing well. We need a striker in our team. Aubameyang or Fofana. Surprisingly, Dacho Fofana hasn't actually been given a chance, and I just don't know why. I am confused as to why that's the case. I just don't understand. But yeah, let's see what happens. He's a talent. His numbers as Moldy FC showed he's a talent, and on occasions where he's gotten the chance to play for us, he showed he's actually better than some of the players that's been playing for us. But I just don't know why he hasn't been given that opportunity again to play more game time just to keep it simple. Let me cook something. Cook, brother. I appreciate you finding time to join. Let me see what else do we have here before we start looking at the news we have up there. Chelsea fans should stop blaming the players. The problem is clueless managers with no tactics or freestyle football. A player and hope for the best. A play and hope for the best. Honestly, I would have rather them, again, if they weren't going to hire any other manager or some manager immediately to replace Graham Potter, they shouldn't have fired him. I think they were eager to impress the fans. Then it turns out it was a worst mistake. And we could end up, there's a chance we finish the season without winning any of the remaining games. Honestly, it's that bad. But that's, by the way, let's start looking at the news we have up there before we move on. Let's see what else we have here, people. I agree. Fofana needs a chance, especially when we need a speed up front. And he's not your stereotypical striker. He's good on the ball. He can play on the flanks, left, right. And looking at Moldy, I think he had how many assists? Was it? I think was it 20? How many assists? But again, his assist numbers are actually better than the midfielders we've had at the club for a while now. So I'm not just sure why he's not been given the chance to be part of the team. What else do we have in the chat? Big up to you. Play three at the back. Tuku played three at the back at home and away last season, but Sheila Kulubali not available, nor is Chilwell. He may have a choice. He may have no choice but to play a further back approach. I agree with you. I think, Kulubali isn't available, so that makes it even more difficult for him. We have Super Frankie Lampard. Yeah, enjoy him. Yeah, no disrespect to him. He's a club legend. I get it. But again, maybe honestly, I'm gonna say this. I mean it in a good way. He needs to go get a shop in a cow town and start doing something else rather than trying to be a manager. Honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm just saying it. Kuchila, how many goals are we going to see tomorrow? Real Madrid has scored more goals in the UK this year than CFC already. They have a chance to add to that command and lead. I think it may well be. I think they has a chance to get even more against us because our midfielders are defensively they're poor. Our midfielders are not contributing that much defensively, except if it starts Zakaria. And again, we have a bit of balance in the midfield area. Offensively, the combo of Enzo Fernandez and Mateo Kovacic have been excellent, but defensively, they don't do much to protect the defense. Nani needs a chance to, and Chukwuemeka needs a chance to. How terrible is Sterling right now? He's been terrible for a while now, and it's looked like that's, the old saying in football. Once a player, again, gets a higher pay, at some point they start performing. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to back up that theory, but it's concerning, really. Our failures of first the season was signing GP, secondly, giving him 5 years contract, and sacked him after poor run of results. I thought hiring Lampard, which was the most poor coach in the league. It doesn't make any sort of sense. I'm still going to be saying that. Literally 3 months ago, he was fired as Everton manager. For whatever reason, they didn't know. Maybe they don't know what's called new manager bounce, but that was never going to happen with Frank Lampard. Tactically, I don't trust him. We've been there before, and I hate to talk about it, but unfortunately, I think they're the sort of people, they learn the hard way. Okay, just having a conversation with Louis there. What else do we have here? Anything else? Afternoon to you too, Walter Moregbe. Nice to see you. Luis Enrique is what Chelsea needs right now to build up for the futures project. I think we need, again, here's my preference, but if we end up hiring Nagelsmann, I'll take him too. Gonna see a replay of last week's fixture, 2-0 loss. It could get worse, and I'll tell you why I think it could get worse when we get into the review. Is it the time to play young, promising players to see, again, what they have? But Lampard doesn't think so. Well, he has just how many games to get his coaching career back on track? But already his coaching career, his resume has gotten worse by losing 3 games in a row. He can throw the players under the bus all he wants. It's all on him. I don't know. Nothing to expect from Real Madrid anymore. Our season is finished. When we lost at Madrid, let's see what else we have here. James delivers crosses and tackles. I don't remember Chilwell being known for those things. Okay, I think of late, I think Chilwell has shown he can put in good crosses into the box, really. I think he's gotten a single assist or so. Just send the players on holidays already, on another holiday, and play the young, hungry players, which was something we begged Lampard to do. But at one point, he was desperate. He reverted to using the younger players. Coach, I don't mind Lampard because the options were slim. We don't have answers as to why Chelsea is terrible. Maybe Lampard would have brought grit and pride, but no, it was a wrong decision no matter how you see it, really. Let's see what else we have here. Lampard working with Gallagher and Neville on Sky Sports would be elite viewing or anything else that keeps him away from the dugout, I don't think he's a good manager, really. Something isn't quite connecting for him as a manager. Yes, but Lampard keeps saying it about the club, not him. He's blaming the players, but again, it was a horrible hiring. Again, a PR hiring just to please the fans, and he ended up being a huge mistake. Nagelsmann's age is a concern for me. I don't think his age isn't a concern. He's played quite a lot of games. Actually, he's played more club games than Enrique, but Enrique has played overall, has managed more clubs, managed more football matches than him. So I think his age is nothing. He's innovative. Again, employs, you can say he has an adaptive approach. Again, he changes his structure and a system and overall approach, depending on the opposition, if that makes sense to you. Let's see what else we have here. Give me a second. My screen is a bit slow. As you can see, I'm not even using my green screen isn't working properly because the setup isn't complete. The interim option was slim. Maybe the hope was Lamps comes in and makes them hungry again. Yeah, it didn't work. It was a risk. Here's the thing. It's common sense. How do you think the players will trust them? I know they will respect them, but that's where that ends. But in terms of his tactical ability, some of them has worked on worked under him already, and they're well aware that tactically he's not the best. And plus, he just left the Everton job 3 months ago and literally dragged them into the relegation battle. So why do you think they trust his ability, to coach them to perform, start performing as a unit, winning games and all that? I think it just doesn't make any sort of sense. For me, it's just they did that just to please the fans, or maybe the argument then was that they did that to bring in positive vibes. But I'm not seeing any of that. If anything, it's divided the fan base even further. Let's see. Lampard is talking about players' fitness. He doesn't play some players for weeks and expect them to be match fit out of a sudden clueless. Well, were there already? Yes, they were hungry. More hungers you can see. Sloppy they are. It's concerning, but we're there already. So this one, let's get to the news. This here says Kai Havertz, N'Golo Kante, Thiago Silva, and Loftus-Cheek all trained. Was Loftus-Cheek injured before? Was he injured? I didn't hear anything about him being injured. But it's a good thing that he's back. Maybe he gets a chance. Maybe we'll see a better performance that we saw at the Bernabeu last week. But let's see. Good to have you back, Coach. Thank you so much, Biggie B. Always nice to see you guys. The love I get from you guys is amazing, and I wish to pay you back as much as I can. So let's move on from that. If you're watching, if you haven't, keep dropping the likes on the stream. We have just 22 likes. Come on, people. We should be doing better than 22 likes, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes do go a long way. Remember, people, if Frank Lampard set the team well tomorrow, we can upset Real Madrid. We have players that can hurt any team, but we have been set up. We have not been set up properly. The question I want to ask is this: it doesn't look like he knows the players very well. And why do I say that? For instance, I get it. You could say Mudryk, he's not been in the best of form of late. But the truth remains he's our top scorer in the Champions League. I get it. The 3 goals he scored in the Champions League were all for Shakhtar Donetsk. But the truth is, the last time he played against Real Madrid, he did so well that when he was subbed up, the Madrid fans were applauding him. That alone shows you, again, managers use that. Again, it's to say, okay, you did well against them the last time, and you're starting this one. So show them that you're good enough again. I expect you to do even better than you did the last time you played against them. And the spaces were there for him to exploit had they been on the pitch. But no, Lampard didn't. Did he even play? I don't remember. Again, I was so pissed. I don't remember everything that happened during that game. Mudryk should have started that game, actually. And believe me, had he started, I think he'd done well. Because I remember how he dealt. Was it Carvajal? He mocked the barrel floor with him. Lampard is a Chelsea legend 100%. I rate his longevity as an ex-Chelsea player and goals. Yep, that is it. He was He wasn't, again, an elite footballer, in my opinion. That's a separate argument altogether. I respect him as a footballer, but as a manager, no, I've seen enough to know, uh, he's not that guy. Except until proven otherwise, maybe he gets a chance somewhere and showed he's a great manager. But how many chances does he have to get before we know he's not good enough? Maybe he hasn't learned enough to become a Chelsea manager. Like I said, for me right now, he's better off finding a space in Cowtown and start doing something else rather than being a manager. No disrespect. We don't only need a good setup tomorrow. We also need to be really motivated. We would also need more than those two to get a hand in the games. Again, all clubs treat us now like small club. Yeah, they know we have a problem. Again, I am ashamed of myself because of this losing. Idris, bigger brother, don't be. I think we will bounce back. I know it's painful. It breaks the heart, but again, we shall overcome. Just remember, I told you that. I've always said before, my biggest concern is the club's immediate future. I'm not concerned about the long-term future, and it turns out I've been correct all the while. He was playing under a better manager. That's why he played well against Real Madrid. That's probably a solid argument. Yeah, maybe Lampard was surprised at the world team. I want to see that. I honestly want to see that. Honestly, I'm serious. Let's see that. I want to see that. It's again, if we beat Real Madrid and end up progressing to the semi-final stage, it's our club. More importantly, these players don't train well. I watched them many times. In fact, they are not serious at all. Some people argue that. And friends, nice to see you. Chelsea might get relegated. I think here's the thing. That's a legit concern. That's a legit concern because we're not through yet. But I don't, as much as I don't think that will happen, and I haven't done the mathematics to say no matter what happens, we'll stay up. I haven't done the calculations. But that's, by the way, I don't think that will happen. Yeah, we could finish the season without winning any of our remaining games. It's gotten that bad, really. Yeah, and 3 losses in a row isn't good for the confidence of the players and the manager himself. If anything, he gets confused even more. But that's, by the way, let's move on from that. Let's talk about these guys. The rumors are that Chelsea are narrowing down the list of managers that they have to consider. They are talking with, and the 2 managers left. They are, again, Julian Nagelsmann and Luis Enrique. They're not seriously considering what's his name, Ruben Amorim, given the fact, again, the reason I don't believe, they say he's too young, needs time to learn more, that he's relatively new on the scene or something like that. But that's, by the way, I think, like I said before, I've mentioned, if they end up hiring Luis Enrique or maybe Julian Nagelsmann, both are excellent managers. But if you ask me to pick between the 2, I'd take Luis Enrique because he is more experienced of the 2 managers. And also, again, he's won more. His pedigree speaks for him. But if they end up hiring Nagelsmann, I would take him. But that's, by the way, let's get into the match review. If you have anything else to say with regards to the managers, say it now before we move on to the match review proper. Chelsea might get relegated. I don't think that will happen. But we could end the season without winning any of our remaining games. Even if Lampard wins the Champions League, still get rid of him. Flukes happen in football, not good enough. We've heard that already. They don't intend keeping him beyond the current season. He's just there, as an interim manager, as we've heard. Nothing. No clause says he does where he keeps it or anything like that. I was concerned that may well be the case, but we've heard that isn't the case. What else do we have here now? Where's the next win coming from, Coach? I'm not really sure. But like I said, you've heard me say there's a chance we could end the season without winning any of the remaining games. Yeah, it's with that bad. That's how bad we've gotten. Let's see what else we have here. There's a short brother on Twitter who had an operation to add 5 inches to his legs. I suggest he gives his physician's business card. That's something that's been happening for a while now, but it looks like it's trending again. I don't think he needs to do that. I think he's a good goalkeeper, but I get what that where I get where that argument is coming from. Kuchila Amorim is older than Nagelsmann. Yeah, so that's why that argument doesn't make any sort of sense. But I think probably because Nagelsmann has won more trophies than him. That even does sound correct. Overall, I think Nagelsmann has won 4 trophies. He won 3 with Bayern Munich and 1 with Hoffenheim or so. But Amorim, he's won 1 with Sporting CP, 2 overall, at most a 3. So yeah, the age argument doesn't make any sort of sense that he's too young at that. But I get it. Let's see what happens here. What else do we have? A lot of people, please, coach, I need subscribers on my new YouTube channel, automation channel. I'm trying to get first at 1K, only have 5 now. What do you do? Tell the people about it, and you're a sub, and you can also share the link to your channel. Explain to people there. So if you're not a mod, you would have found it difficult to share the link to your channel. But since you're a mod, you can share the link to your channel, and people can go check it out, and I'll talk about it more. But I need to know your channel very well so I can help promote it. You don't even need to say please. You're a member here, and we appreciate you. Again, let's see how we can support you. This here says, yep, we'll do that for you, brother. We're one here. Gotta go. Talk soon, Constantine Dante. See you next time, brother. Always nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join us today. But I felt if we play with Havertz, Mount, and Mudryk up front, we might get through. And playing Loftus-Cheek on the wing back, we would get a result. Loftus-Cheek on the wing back is not a bad idea. He's played there before, and I always like him whenever he plays there. And whenever he plays there on the Thomas Tuchel, when he played there on the Thomas Tuchel, his primary responsibility wasn't to defend, but to help overload the attacking area and the midfield area. And he's been effective whenever he gets to play in that position. So, but let's see what Frank Lampard does tomorrow. We have traditional wing backs in the team, so it'd be difficult to see those players play. See Loftus-Cheek get a chance to play in the right wing back position. Except if Reeves plays in the right centre back position, then there'll be a space for him. But I think it's a huge risk, really, against Real Madrid. Nagelsmann is better in the long run. Enrique won't stay for more than 3 years. I think that's a solid argument because he's a manager, a very popular manager. A lot of clubs want him because he's established. He's been there. He's won nearly everything there is to win in club football. So yeah, it won't be long before some other clubs start again looking to hire him, and he won't even. I don't think he'd agree to sign a long-term contract with Chelsea. I'd be surprised if that happens. Nagelsmann is better in the long run. I agree, but here's the thing: if I were the owners, my priority right now would be to stabilize things and not to. Again, I will actually, again, I wouldn't say abandon the project. I think I will put a halt. I will halt the project at the moment, seek stability first, hire an established manager, help him again to fix the team, win 1 trophy or 2, then start looking for a long-term manager. That's again, if I were one of the owners, that would have been my suggestion from the onset, and say, let's not try this right now. Let's get an established manager that will help us win stuff. Let's start well. Then after that, you start planning for a long time. Get somebody, I'm not sure how else to explain myself so you understand what I'm trying to say here. Let's say, thank you, Coachella. It's a Chelsea FC update channel. Oh, excellent. Welcome to the family, bro. You will get there. Share the link. You're a mod. Tell me if you're not a mod. Yep, he has a link to his channel there. So please go check out our brother's YouTube channel. He's new. He said he's pushing to get to 1,000 as soon as possible. As you can see, it's Chelsea FC. Okay, it was Jingles, but he says it's called Chelsea FC Update. What we're seeing on the screen, the handle there says it's Chelsea FC Jingles. Go check it out. Be sure to subscribe. Let's help him get to 1,000 as soon as possible. We'll all support Chelsea. If he grows the club, again, it helps the club's fan base reach more people. It helps the club overall as an entity reach more people. And we have more Chelsea fans. And we want to see our fan base grow globally. I don't remember the last time Chilwell made an assist. I think it's not been long to think deeply. I think you'll remember one. Um, Max a 2 years contract for any new manager, then reevaluate. Yep, that's the current again. The every club's preferred approach these days. You don't give managers long-term contract, 8 years, like in the case of Lampard, Newcastle, and then before you know what was happening, they fire them. Thank you too, brother. You always feel free. You don't even need to tell me. As long as you're here, share the link to your channel. And if I get a chance, you have a live event, I'll be willing, again, happy to join your live show. If you want us to record a video, I'd be happy to do that with you. So thank you for always supporting the channel. I appreciate that. You see, you have one sub there from Chelsea all the way. Chilwell scored in the Leicester City game. I think he had an assist. I just can't quite recall what game exactly was that. Good morning, Coach. Good morning to you too, Mohammed Ainte. Nagelsmann is exciting. Then Enrique would do better. Enrique would do better with our young players. I think both of them they have a good track record in terms of working with young players. Nagelsmann especially, Enrique also. But just like I said, I like them both. It's just that one of them is more experienced than the other, and I prefer Enrique over Nagelsmann given his experience. If that makes sense. So we'll move on from that one. Let's go into reviewing the Chelsea versus Real Madrid Champions League quarterfinal stage. Just give me one. Just give me 1 second. Yep, I had to look at something there. Yep, let's see. If you're in the chat, yep, let's get into the review properly. Chelsea versus Real Madrid, Aston Villa, we're 2 goals down. We have to overcome a 2 goals deficit, to progress to the next stage, which is the semifinal. So if you're in the chat, let me know if you're looking forward to this game. I want to get your thoughts before we start looking at the insights. And I'm waiting for you. Let's hear. Do you think we're going to win this one? Do you think Real Madrid will beat us? Whatever you think, let me know your reason for that. And now it'd be interesting to see, to read your thoughts. Yep, good morning to you two there. I've read that one. Let's see what else we have here. Anyone is better than Lampard. That's a solid argument. And I wouldn't argue against that. I couldn't believe it. And I was cooked on it. It's still being cooked on Twitter. I can't try to find the tweet right now. Somebody advised me to delete it. I said, for what? For speaking the truth? I will not. Give me a second. I'll get back to you in a bit. So, like, the question is, let me know, what do you think happens tomorrow? Do you think would overcome the 2 goals deficit, beat Real Madrid, and progress to the semifinals of the Champions League? Or do you think they beat us again and add to we're already 2-0 down. Do you think they'd add to that, beat us, and make it to the semifinals? Whatever your thoughts is, I'm waiting. It'd be interesting to see what you think. And let me put up a poll here as quickly as possible to help us get more likes. We're 32 likes, well, we should be doing better than that. But anyway, thank you so much for 32 likes. That is not easy. If you haven't, drop a like on this thing. And also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much for all the love. Give me 1 second. I'll be back with you guys. Give me a second. It's been more than a second, right? I'll be back with you guys. All right. Let's go. So what else do we have here in the chat? Who says hit the like button, people. Yes, people, we need more likes. If you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes do go a long way. With more likes, the YouTube algorithm will be triggered, and the stream will be pushed to more people who will be interested in this particular topic. So the more people we have here, the more fun we have, the more opinions you have, the more enjoyable the show becomes. Let's see what we have here. Yes, people, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. From my bro from the medieval land to Belho, much love to you, brother, but we're still beefing though. If Chelsea beat Madrid tomorrow 3-0 and go through, I will personally donate $100 to this channel. Wow. Which means you're thinking it's impossible. It can happen. Never say never. It's a very difficult one. Here's why it is very difficult. First of all, we are necessitated to attack. We have to attack. It's not that sort of game where say we have to find a balance between. Yeah, we still have to find balance between attacking and defending, but more focus should be on attack because we need goals. We need to score 2 goals to equalize and to cancel out the 2 goals, and then we need to score 1 more to beat them 3-2. Why do I say it is very difficult? It is very difficult in the sense the focus mainly for us will be to attack. In Real Madrid, they have very quick players, and Carlo Ancelotti is experienced enough to exploit the fact that we will be all out to attack to get goals, and we'll leave spaces behind. So they will exploit that effectively. The slightest of chances they get, you be rest assured they'll put them away. Let me say the slightest of spaces they find, they will exploit that effectively, get to our box, and every chance they get, if they get, let me just put it this way, if they get 4 chances, they'll score 6 goals. They've been more effective in front of goal than we've been. But we get to look at that in a bit. Okay, I hope that happens so I can get you $100. It depends, like I said, it depends on how many people we have today. We haven't streamed in a while. We have to do a giveaway for students, a monthly theme that I promised we were going to start. The membership thing didn't earn the channel enough, but I'll make it up and still do it because it's a promise. And again, that means a lot to me. It goes beyond. I'm not doing it for the sake of it. I'm doing it because I've been a student myself in a foreign land like the United States, and I know how difficult it can be to be a student old enough to have all the priorities rather than, prepare for exams and all that and read. And there are other things in life that you need to do. Sometimes you don't have money. Sometimes you actually find it difficult to feed. So we still do that, but it depends on how many people we have today. I have approached all last 3 games with some hope for tomorrow. I will not be putting anything aside for the game. It's so bad that we cannot even get 1 point. In 3 games. Yeah, it is a concerning situation, I have to be honest. The last 8 matches with Lampard will really test the mentality of Chelsea fans. That's another way to put it. It's gone beyond the mentality of the players to the mentality of the fans these days. You already know where the fans are. It's everywhere. Some have become numb to the situation. I've become numb to the situation to a certain extent. It's just that I don't want it to be as embarrassing as it's looking like it may well end up being. For instance, losing the rest of the games and not win any. We've lost 3 in a row, and that's 4 in a row in total. Correct me if I'm wrong, but 3 in a row under Frank Lampard, and looking like we're going to lose 4 in a row under Frank Lampard tomorrow. So yeah, some of the fans are already numb to the situation. But it breaks the heart no matter how you see it. Sometimes you feel like you're numb to it, and sometimes when you think deeply about it, you start feeling the pain again, realizing, wow, it's not easy to sweep under the rug, if that makes sense. So if you're watching, I did ask the question, what do you think happens tomorrow? Do you think we'll overcome the 2 goals deficit and end up beating Real Madrid and make it to the semi-final stage? Or do you think that beat us tomorrow again, adding to the 2 goals lead? Whatever you think, let me know. It'd be interesting to see what you think. Let's see what else we have here. 3-5-2, more fluid than a 4-3-3. Everything we've played with, again, we've tried to play with a 4-3-3 structure. we've been confused. The players on the pitch seem so confused. Even you that is watching, you be going, what the heck is going on here? It's a structure that the players are not really familiar with. We haven't played that consistently for a while, so going with that structure means more confusion. It'd be difficult for us to get something, get a good result with that structure because the players ain't that familiar with it. If that makes sense. Yes, people, thank you for 37 likes. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much for all the support. Sorry, my screen is a bit slow in terms of highlighting whatever you're putting there. Big up, coach. Why were you not here before, Agnes? You I wasn't here because I traveled to Texas for a bit of break and also some dental procedures that I talked about. It's not done yet, but the rest can be done here. Uh, I don't want to get into that much. The problem at Chelsea is that the fan base support football based on sentiments and not competence. Why Chelsea is so washed up and dusted, I wouldn't blame the fans for the situation. The owners should know better. If making decisions based on what the fans want, strictly based on what the fans want, means being sentimental. It's that simple. Sometimes you have to be logical. You have to be objective. Make sensible decisions. Don't base your decision on the fact that you want to hire Frank Lampard because you feel like the fans respect him. Maybe it changes. He brings positive vibes and all that. But look where we're at. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. Let's see what else we have here. My screen is a bit slow in terms of highlighting whatever you have there. Bench Starling, start Pulisic and Felix. I wouldn't mind that happening, but unfortunately, I think he'd start Starling tomorrow too because he trusts him. He wants experience on the pitch. It probably feels like the more again the experienced players will help him get the result rather than the younger players or the less experienced players, if that makes sense. Okay, Fraser says 1-0 Madrid win. Okay, I think there will be more than a goal tomorrow. I think we'll also score goals, but they will score goals too. Gallagher will score tomorrow. I hope that happens. I want my club to do well. Fate, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. What else do we have here? Gallagher scores against Brighton. Scored against Brighton. He will score against Real Madrid. Okay, let's see. One thing I think also is that there's a chance the majority of the players that started against Brighton will not be starting against Real Madrid. For instance, certainly, what's his name, Badiashile, because he's not in that Champions League squad. He's already out of the question. I know it's you. You've told me that before. I think Lampard would do a 3-4-3 or 4-3-3 hybrid. If he tries to play with a hybrid structure, the players are going to get confused even more. But let's see what he does. He will play Pulisic left wing. He likes Pulisic. I'm surprised that he didn't start him in the last game. But let's see what he does. What else do we have here? Yeah, Benzema loading. I'm concerned, but hopefully let's see what happens. So let's look at this here. Let's look at the head-to-head. The team's current form. The current form of both teams. How many players? They have just one player out injured. Wow. Forlan Mendy. And for us, we have Bencho, a suspended red card. Koulibaly, muscle injury. He will be back late April. Connie Chukwuemeka injured late April. I didn't know Connie was injured. No wonder. Amanda Broya, we already know about that. So we don't have too many players out. I think you could argue we have it good enough. Again, maybe in the defensive area, maybe because Thiago Silva, you could argue he's not fully fit because it's not been long he started training with his teammates. I get it. It's that important to us that he had to just join the fray. Let's see what else we have here. Owners are responsible for our woes, not the fans. I'd argue that, like I said, yep. How do you expect paying 20 million to release Potter without fear of failing? Everything we see is post-Potter trauma. You could say that them taking this much time, them not hiring a permanent manager immediately after the firing of Graham Potter was as a result of, again, the mistake they made in hiring Potter immediately after the sacking of Thomas Tuchel. They've learned the hard way that they need to take their time and find a manager that, that will get the job done for them. There's no way we play back four again. Could big up to you, God of Frogs. Always nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. I'm not sure what Frank Lampard is going to do, but he may well. I think it will be most likely be a back three. Chilwell is out, so who plays in Kukurea left wing back position? But we don't have Badeshile, we don't have Koulibaly, so most likely a back four. So if you look at the options he has available to him tomorrow, it will most likely be a back four. If Frank wants to use Sterling, then it has to come. He has to come on in the second half. It will be decided to start Sterling in tomorrow's game. I have to say he's been awful, really. Trevor, Fofana, and Silva with Reece James and Kukurea as wing back is my likely guess. Yeah, that looks like it makes sense. Trevor Chalobah, left centre back, right centre back, and Silva centrally to his left. Either of them, maybe if Frank Lampard decides to play Trevor Chalobah or Wesley Fofana in the left centre back position, but I'm not sure. It'd be interesting to see what he does. But I think he'd be better off. You could say he'd be better off with the back four. Yeah. It's Lewis Hall in the Champions League. I'd rather him play left wing back. I don't. Let me check the Chelsea Champions League squad. Actually, I think he should be. But do I think Frank would trust him enough to get him involved tomorrow? I'm not sure. Just give me a second. Let me see what players we have there. If I'm looking at it right now, just give me 1 second, people. Let me saw he should be there. While I wait to find it, let me look at this. 3-5-2 Mendy goalkeeper Fofana, right centre back, Silva centre back centrally. Kukurea left centre back. Mudryk left wing back. With an attacking intent. We may well see that. I've seen a lot of people talk about that on Twitter, because here's the thing. The thing most people don't understand that when you play a player such as Mudryk in the left centre back position, in the left wing back position, the application is what you pay attention to. In this case, if Mudryk starts there, it must definitely be with an attacking intent, not because he's a defender or so. But unfortunately, Santiago, a lot of people don't see it like that. Free roaming midfield role, James right wing back, Felix and Havertz. I would take that risk, because what is there to lose, really? So let me look at our Champions League squad. We have Kepa Arrizabalaga, Marcos Bettinelli, Edward Mendy, and Lucas Bastrom. I don't know. Wow, is this defenders? We have Thiago Silva, Trevor Chalobah, Ben Chilwell. Okay, red card. Reece James, Koulibaly, Cesar Spilicueta, Marc Correa, Wesley Fofana, midfielders Enzo Fernandez, N'Golo Kante, Mateo Kovacic, Christian Pulisic, Raheem Sterling, Mason Mount, Denis Zakaria, Hakim Ziyech, Conor Gallagher, Kai Havertz, Connie Chukwuemeka, Lewis Hall, and Charlie Webster. Actually, they are in the Champions League squad. So I'd give them a chance tomorrow. Your argument makes sense, really. Let's see what else we have here. So Santiago, that's a good one there. Please let Frank use Kai Havertz even if he's unfit, then using Sterling. I think I'll do that. And I tell you, Jose, you get more out of Kai than Raheem Sterling, who seems to be confused whenever he's on the pitch. Coach, just to know, is Edward Mendy that bad enough to have a second chance under Lampard? Kepa is dropping stinkers after stinkers. I'm not saying he's that bad, but again, you could say the argument is this: he's been out for a while with a broken finger. He's recovered. He's trained with the team for a while now. I was actually surprised that Frank didn't drop Kepa Arrizabalaga and start Mendy because Kepa has looked shaky, but you could argue he hasn't been that bad. He's actually the reason why you could argue without Kepa Arrizabalaga, there's a chance we'll be fighting for relegation right now, or we'll be what's up in the Champions League, if that makes sense. At least that's how I see it. I haven't done the calculations properly. I forget about Lewis Hall. Yeah, I think if you trust him well enough, he's a fine player, and I wouldn't mind playing him in the wing back position. But most likely, I think we'd see if he wants to deploy a non-defensive player in the wing back, in the left wing back position, he will most likely be what's his name, Mihailo Mudryk. If he plays with the back three, where Correa plays in the left center back position, if that makes sense. Isaka Amadi says it is practically impossible for Chelsea to beat Real Madrid tomorrow. No player combination can beat Real Madrid. Wow, some argument. What else do we have here? No Correa, he will ruin another player. Correa is I think I don't know how to argue his case. I don't think he's a bad player, but I get it. I get the argument that we overpaid for him, which makes sense. I have an issue with winning aerial duels at the back. It is costing us and exposing Kepa's weaknesses. Yep. He's the perfect Vinicius Jr. Injuries. If he's injured, we'll win. I guess that's what you're trying to say. Without Junior, Madrid is nothing. A lot of people say that. When Abramovich first bought Chelsea, we went that great, and later on, we became the most successful club in Europe. Say one of the most successful club in Europe. It will take time for Chelsea to become great again. Yeah, we know that. But let's keep the topics aligned. And big up to you, Mabas05. Let's not forget how bad Chilwell has been for most of this season. Hold the same energy for him. Wow. Some argument. Martin O, big up everyone. Welcome back. Thank you so much for welcoming me back. So let's look at the team's recent form. It is concerning. It is concerning. In 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, we've lost 5 games. We've lost 4 and drew 1, which is the draw against Liverpool. And for them, in 5 games, they've won 4. They won 4 of them convincingly. They beat Real Valladolid 6-0, beat Barcelona 4-0, lost 2-3 to Villarreal, that game where Samuel Chukwueze was excellent on the day. What a game that was. They beat us 2-0. So all the games they've won convincingly. Also, again, yeah, it's a construct. They're in form, we're not. We've been horrible. And here's where this gets concerning. Not really, I wouldn't say that gets concerning. The insights here, let's see. The insights here, Chelsea and Real Madrid have not drawn any of their last 4 matches against each other, which means if we're paying attention to the statistics here, which means most likely there will be a winner. And you guess who the winner will be. That's not saying that's certainly what will happen. Likelihood. The likelihood is that, yeah, there will be a winner since there hasn't been a draw in our last 4 meetings with Real Madrid. But the team's current form, the fact that we've lost 4 in 5 games and drew 1, the fact that they've won 4 out of 5 games and lost 1, but in that one they lost, actually, they scored 2 goals. Yeah, so which means they are the most likely team to win tomorrow. Most likely. That doesn't mean it's a certainty, if we're being honest here. So it doesn't look good on paper, but it is football. You simply cannot script football. In football, anything can happen. And until the man in the middle blows the final whistle, I'm not going to say we've lost this one. That is just me. Maybe because I'm a Chelsea fan or because I love my club and I want my club to do well. I'm not going to go, to the extent of saying we've already lost the game. I want my club to win, even though I don't want the club. Frank Lampard, I hated it that Frank Lampard was hired as the interim manager. I still would like him to do well because if he does well, Chelsea does well. So, yeah, given those 2 factors, there will most likely be a winner. And the statistics we've looked at, because, yeah, you can call it statistic, the fact that we haven't had a draw with them in the last 4 meetings, and the fact that in a better form, Yeah, they're the most likely team to win tomorrow, on paper. What else do we have here? This is exactly what I was saying. Chilwell has been awful, but all some see is Kukurea shocking. Yeah, that's the truth. I think Kukurea has been a good. Kepa, Kukurea, Chalobah, Thiago Silva, Wesley Fofana, James, Enzo, Kante, Mudryk, Kavas, Stalin starts my lineup. We'll do the predicted lineup tomorrow during the Blue Morning Show tomorrow. Chilwell is on red. Yep, he's out. Yep, that's the truth. Real Madrid is not really good. Just that we're two again. We're in shambles. Is that what you're trying to say? To take advantage of them. Here's the thing. No matter how you see it, if you're saying Real Madrid that if you're saying they're not that good, that brings to mind really how good Carlo Ancelotti is as a manager. He's able to get the best out of his player. Even the oldest of the players he has in the team are playing like they're in their prime, if that makes sense. So, which means brings back the argument, the fact that we should be doing better than we're doing right now. We should have done better than we did on the ground, Potter. It's as simple as that, which highlights the fact that our problem has been those in charge, not really the players. So let's see, what else do we have here? Thank you for that comment there. Coach, what do you think Bally said to the players in that 1 hour meeting in the dressing room after the Brighton game? Whatever he said, I don't think will make any difference. He's not a manager. The most thing he will say, this shouldn't be happening. We should be doing better than this. He's not a manager. And I don't think it makes sense for him to be interfering with the manager's stuff, walking into the dressing room, speaking to the players like that while the manager is there. Well, anyway, he's an interim manager and probably knew it was going to be like that. It's more like even inadvertently telling the players the manager doesn't know what he's doing. You should leave the talk with the players to the manager. If anything, you shouldn't go into the dressing room immediately after the game. Maybe during training sessions, go there and talk with the players. So I don't care what he said to them. I don't know. There's no way to even, I can't even speculate what he said to them. I cannot imagine what he said to them in the dressing room, but it just doesn't make any sort of sense to me. If anything, it is an interference. He's interfering with the manager's job. That's how I see it. They've made a mistake, fine, correct it, and stop doing that. We have here almost find it hard to believe with being on this run of form. It's unbelievable. I had just had to support my club because I love Chelsea that much. It breaks the heart again to look at the things, to look at the situation. Whenever you think about the situation we find ourselves in, I just have to support Lampard. But I couldn't believe they hired him. We would have been better off letting Graham Potter finish the season. I get it, he wasn't the best, and I wanted him to leave the job. But we've seen some tiny bit of progress. The only thing that didn't happen under him was put away chances, honestly. But we move away from that. But we've been worse off. Right now, we're playing worse than we did under Graham Potter. We don't need a striker that drops to DM when the team is attacking. No Havertz, please. Havertz is not a striker. We know that. Fraser, again, let's see what else we have here. I'd say play Felix as a false nine, Mudryk to left, and Havertz on the right. I think we've seen that before, and it actually worked. Havertz on the right hand side, actually, I think he's done well. Give me just a few minutes. Let me catch up with what else we have in the chat here. Time we stop playing Kai as a number 9, I think we should stop. Every time you see him in a deeper position, he actually does better than usual. Ultimately, we need our future starters to play until the end of the season, prioritizing those players. Unfortunately, Frank isn't here. Really, he wants to get his coaching career back on track and probably wouldn't have too much time for those players you're talking about. Once we get a natural DM, then we can go back to back 4. Hello to you too, Thomas Bays. Nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Hello, coach. I start to make a comment, but each one seems meaningless, and I deleted. Big up to you, bro. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, you could say that, but we will be back. Zalani, always nice to see you. We need a scary striker, goalkeeper, a creative CM. Let's see what the club does. I am you as well. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Bali is the new Glazer. I think he will do well, better than the Glazers, but a lot of mistakes now to correct. Big up, Kachula. We are absolutely getting battered tomorrow. Let's not kid ourselves. But I am a Chelsea fan, and I will always hope for a win. Let's see how it goes. Keep the blue flag flying high. Hopefully, we get a win tomorrow, and I'll take it. Yes, that's the spirit I want to see. Big up, Crazy E. It's been a minute, brother. Do let me know that you're doing well. Hit me up on Twitter. Let me know how you're doing. I haven't heard from you for a while. Lampard is a good player, but terrible as a manager. We cannot create chances with Lampard as a manager. Under him, we are becoming a black pass and no end product. Wow, some argument right there. I have zero expectation for tomorrow. The only thing I would like to see is goals from Madrid. That would boost his confidence. And yeah, I agree with you. The less you respect, the more you'll be able to deal with the situation if the outcome tomorrow becomes as horrible, as terrible as most people are predicting it will be. And in terms of Frank Lampard, I'm going to say this again. He needs to go get a store in Cowtown and start some other business and not be a manager until proven otherwise. Chilwell messed up Kukureya's flow because of the crying he did on Sky Sports during the World Cup. Fans can be fickle. Really. All right. I have my bro here on the panel, AD Love for Blue. Eddie, big up to you, bro. How are you doing, brother?
Big up, bro. Good to see you back on the show now.
Thank
Um,
you. I appreciate that.
Good. Well, where do you want us to start from? Because there's so many things said already, so I don't know.
Where do you
You
want to
know,
start? Do you want to talk about where we're at with the managerial hunt? If you want to, for a manager hunt, maybe. We're hearing that they're narrowing it down to just Enrique and Nagelsmann, but some are saying that their top priority is Nagelsmann, which doesn't really make sense. That he has friends already at the club. So my guess is that a lot of people are just framing it that way because they think he will most likely emerge as the new manager of the club because of he has we have Vivella at the club and other people at the club who's worked with him. But your thoughts on the situation? Before we go back to the match review again, I want to get your thoughts on that one.
um, I mean, if we go that route of saying because Nagelsmann has got friends
Mm-hmm.
among the owners or in the boardroom or in the club, it's not good for us. It's not something we should be hearing this stage. I mean, this club is we're in a very terrible situation now that we shouldn't afford to say the one of the criteria they want to use is that because he's got friends in there, it shouldn't come out at all. Except we just take it as being just kind of the normal rumors that we hear and things that are not substantiated.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's any substance to that, I'm telling you, they're going to go the wrong direction again in terms of another appointment, which will be very, very devastating. Which will be too bad for the club if everything is not right this time. I mean, they've told us they need to take their time. That's why they brought back an interim manager, somebody that will stay steady, be there till the end of the season. Because
Mm-hmm.
for me, sacking Potter, the next thing that should have happened would have been a permanent manager that would at least
Or you let
take,
Potter finish the season.
or then better still, yeah, let Potter finish the season. So, but if they've gone the sack Potter and they've brought back Lampard, which with all due respect, has not even done better. He's not even done as well as what Potter even did. Ironically, you know, it's a big shame that the only game that I've enjoyed this season was that game against Liverpool and was handled by Bruno. That's the only game. So if they knew they were going to do that, why not try to talk Bruno to hold forth till the end of the season? Why then take him away and we brought Lampard? I don't really. I sometimes I sit down and I think, what was the rationale? What was the thinking behind bringing Lampard back? Was it because he had excellent resume? Was it because he was so good with his previous jobs, or was it because he did so well the first time with Chelsea? I really can't really place my hand or my head around this appointment, to be honest. And so, if we are talking about now, they want to get it right. The fans have been pained. We've gone through the worst season ever, or we are going through the worst season ever. And the next thing they want to tell us is that the next manager is because he has friends. That is the basis or one of the reasons why he will be chosen above the other managers. I think we are going down a route that is not good for us. So, and for me, again, if we look at the candidates that have been put forward, Enrique, to be honest, I am not too convinced. Not too convinced. Enrique will be coming with his own baggage as well. He's not a manager that you really, really want to build the club around, that will last you a long time, that will be ready to stay. I mean, he's got his own as well. He throws out his own tantrums as well. He does so many things as well. I mean, look at his past list and I will be able to know. So the managers so far that have been linked with Chelsea, you put up a post the other day, Amorim. I mean, if we are trying to go that route, we need to look meticulously. They need to look at what they want to appoint. If they get this all wrong again, I'm telling you, it will really, really make so many fans to give up hope. Nobody, honestly.
You could argue that's the reason why they're taking their time. They're not in a rush because they've made that mistake. They made that mistake in the first place by hiring Graham Potter immediately after the sacking of Thomas Tuchel. Even you could say, should I say proper vetting? I don't know if that's the correct language to use. They didn't look at his winning percentage and all that, which was 31 or 30% or something, just a little above 30% at that point. I don't think they did their research quite well. So now probably they're taking their time in that case. But go ahead with what you were saying.
Yeah, but if they say that if they're telling us they're taking their time, and what we're hearing again now, taking your time shouldn't include you trying to favor a candidate already on the basis that he has friends. That is not taking their time. You know what I mean? It's only going to be sentiment. And if they go, it's not as if Nagelsmann is not a good manager. But I mean, if you know that the process of recruiting, you're going to take your time, then it has to be holistic. You have to throw the net wide open, and then you now choose the best. It shouldn't be the basis. It shouldn't be telling us because Nagelsmann has got friends, then we need to favor him. Then what are we talking about? So the fans will now know that beforehand that this man is only coming in because he's got friends. So any slip up, I'm telling you, there'll be backlash. There'll be huge backlash because the fans will just, or fans, or even opposition fans, or even people in the press, everything, they'll just latch on to that and say, oh yes, they told us they were going to appoint him based on the basis that he's got friends. It's not as if he was the best candidate for them. So it's not good. It's really not good. Whatever we want to look at it, it's not good at all for us hearing this. And I just hope and pray this is just in the realm of speculation. It's just realm of people talking. But if it's anything, eventually, that points to the fact or to that direction that the reason Nagelsmann is being considered is because he's got friends, I'm telling you, it is not good enough.
I think we'll find ourselves in this position, and it's really dangerous. Let me get what we have in the chat, and we'll go back to looking, to the match review preview, so to speak. Let's hope that Mendy is not starting as a goalkeeper. He will have another stinkers versus Real Madrid. Probably Lampard probably watched that game himself and will be conscious of that. Lampard has been hired on merit. His namesake, yeah, I understand that. Let's see what else we have here. I am surprised that people are looking past Mendy. He was wonderful in our UEFA Champions League. The one that run to that winning with Thomas Tuchel, he was excellent for us. You could argue he was pivotal to us winning his excellent saves against even Benzema himself, a point-blank header from Benzema, and some other saves that I don't remember quite vividly right now. But he was, but at one point he started showing having 4 games, averaging a single mistake per game. But maybe he's recovered, maybe he's improved. We don't know until we see that. But it all comes down to what Frank Lampard wants. Just give me a few minutes again because he doesn't have legs. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, he earned a modern goalkeeper. Once we hire a coach, Bolly needs to stay away of sight He cannot be identity. He shouldn't. Too much talk about him and not the team actually, and he shouldn't be going to the dressing room after games. If he wants to talk with them on the training ground. That's how he's done. Going to say he's practically telling the players that the manager don't mean anything. He doesn't trust the manager, or the manager doesn't know what he's doing. Nagelsmann fell out with everyone at Bayern. Do you really think he has the temperament to work with, especially when the owners like to storm the dressing room like they are SWAT team, SWAT team indeed? Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think any established manager would want that. I would take a keeper who has a great reflexes and can save long shots over Kepa, who can pass and concede nearly every long shot he faces. Some argument right there. Let's see what else we have here. The only positive from the last game was Mudryk looking better. I don't see us getting 3 goals tomorrow. I just hope we don't embarrass ourselves even more. Okay, we'll get back to that a bit. Todd Boehly shouldn't be getting blamed up for the board and sporting director that had a negative influence before Todd Boehly arrived. I'm not sure where you're taking that to. But I let me just say I get your point. I don't want a caretaker manager. I want a strict manager, someone who can shout at the players and someone who can put players to the reserves who don't want to play for Chelsea. That's a solid argument right there. Hey, Eddie, let's come to this game. We've looked at this. And the team's current form. Us is awful. And correct me if I'm wrong, it should be, if we say 6 games, it should be 5 losses in total and 1 draw, right?
Yeah.
Because we lost. Yeah. And for them, it is 4 wins and 1 loss. That game in particular, like I mentioned before, Chukwueze was excellent in that game. And they did score 2 goals also. So looking at that, they're in a better form. And this that says that Chelsea and Real Madrid have not drawn any of their last 4 meetings, which means, again, it's not a certainty, but most likely there will be a winner. And it's looking like the winner tomorrow will most likely be Real Madrid. What do you make of those 2 things we looked at right now?
We can't see. Well, to be honest, I don't see anything beyond Real Madrid victory. That's really, to be honest, how painful as painful as that may sound or may feel. So, I mean, I don't see anything. I don't know what Lampard is going to do tomorrow to really say we're going to win. I can't say it. Is he going to change system back to a back 4 again? Is he going to stick with the back 3? Or what's he going to do? Is he going to? I mean, now he has less pool of players to select from. There is no Koulibaly, no Chilwell. So now, if he's going back 3, how does he line them up? Is he going to play Reece James at the right centre back? Is he going to play Silva in the middle? And then who plays on the left? Is he going to be Cucurella? Or is he going to play Fofana as a left centre back, play Thiago Silva, and probably bring back Aspilicueta, which will be very, very bad because of pace of Vinicius? So, or is he going to play what's it called, Chaluba, right centre back, Thiago Silva centre back, and then Fofana left centre back, and then maybe play Reece James right wing back, Cucurella left wing back, and then Enzo and Kante in the middle. Say he's going for a 3-4-3 or 3-4-2-1, whatever it is. Play Kante and Enzo, and for me, he has to play Modric for pace. He did well in flashes. We saw flashes of him against Brighton. So maybe play Modric on one side. Maybe Mount. I don't think he should play João Felix, to be honest. That's my own opinion. Maybe Mount and then maybe play Pulisic and then Kai Havertz. One time we see with Chelsea's selection is that one game, most players, we are saying, we don't need Kai to play. And after each game that Kai doesn't play, we now want to see Kai come back again. That is how bad it's been for us.
Because in his absence, we see actually at the moment we can't do without him.
Exactly. And when he plays, sometimes we get angry. We don't like the way he's playing. And after the game, if he drops him, he comes. We come back again and we say, "Oh, Kai should have been playing." So that tells the situation where we find ourselves.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
it's a serious one. Yeah. Let's see how he handles the fact that we have how many players out tomorrow. We have issues in the defensive area, so to speak. If the owners are unable to fix the problem we're facing right now, we will go into the next season as relegation candidates. Wow. Some argument right there. I feel that relationship with Enrique will last long. Don't see him as sticking around. Is this say won't? Okay. Don't see him sticking around in locker rooms while ball is circling the corridors like a bee. Yeah, I don't. That's a concern. Yeah, that's a concerning behavior. Really, he shouldn't be doing that. Big up to you. I hope you're doing well. With that performance against Brighton, there's no way we will win against Real Madrid.
Yeah, sorry, coach. Can I just?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, coach. Can I just quickly say something? I mean, if Todd Bowley, is doing this, we just take it. It's because of what is going on now. He's just doing everything because he knows personally, he knows within themselves that they failed in terms of the appointment. So for them just walking into the dressing room, barging into the dressing room when they're not supposed to be there, they know that this season is like a write-off. So whatever they do, we shouldn't take them seriously, whatever their attitude they are displaying now. But if going forward, this is what they'll be displaying, one, the new manager will need assurances from them that this is not going to keep happening. And they need to assure them that, oh, we're doing this because maybe it's under, maybe the pressure. They too, they're facing this pressure. Fans are not happy. They know they've invested huge amount of money and they're not getting the results. So they're just doing this because they know what else is there to do. So we just break every rules that governs football within the club and then just do whatever we want to do and then write off this season and then we start all over again next season. But it's not portraying a good picture for the new manager coming in. Because we've never had Abramovich barging into dressing rooms like this. He goes to the training ground and expresses his feelings. At least from the interview we heard from Mikel.
You only see him in the dressing room when we win trophies.
When we win trophies, exactly, celebrating with the players. And Mikel alluded to that whenever you see him come to the training ground, he's not happy. If he's coming the next time, he flies the chopper, whatever it is, and lands, then the coach is gone. So there is what they see, the way he operates or he operated. So, but they're just doing this. We just take it as one of the season. This is the first season. So we just have to accommodate this for this season because it's a complete shambles of a season. So, but I know he's going to be on the table discussing with the new manager. I hope this is not the way you people are going to be handling it. This is not the way you people are going to be barging into the dressing room. So I think it's going to be part of the discussion before the manager takes up this position. Exactly.
Thank you so much for that. We concede a goal in almost every game we play. And we can't even score. And I'm sure Roger came with his spreadsheet, so I'll ask him a question soon. Kachila, would it be a good idea to start a fans donating campaign to hire a football tutor for volley? By doing so, we help them by taking the burden off the shoulders of our next manager. It's a good idea, but I think they're learning the hard way right now, and I don't think they need any more any specialized trainer in that case. Lampard lack of a proper defensive structure is going to affect us in the Real Madrid game, especially now that we lack personnel in that area. If that makes sense. Big up to you. How are you doing, Dan? I hope you're doing well. Always nice to see you. Bro, on holiday in Cyprus for 2 weeks. Good to see you back on. Good to see you too. I hope you're doing well. Okay, enjoy your holiday there. This season has exposed the players' favoritism culture. We have had a since to be wow. Okay, that's some statement right there. Only a miracle or luck would get us the Champions League of finals. Okay, never say never. Let's see what happens. What else do we have here? Alonso gone, Cucurella upgraded to the scapegoat. Oh yeah, I have to say that he's a target right now when things ain't going the wrong way, even when people shouldn't actually be mentioning him. Let's see what else we have. Luis Enrique is a demanding coach like Tuchel. The board have to give Enrique the players he wants. He's not a yes man. Just quickly, Roger. So we done since we're gonna go back to talking about the game again. We've been going back and forth. Let's continue with that back and forth until around. But big up to you, Roger. Nice to see you again. I didn't get to check out that steak place you mentioned, unfortunately.
Oh, Nelson's?
Yeah, I did not.
It's amazing.
Yeah, my brother-in-law says he doesn't know the place, but it's not over yet. I think I'll get a chance. We go there every Easter period, and they come every Christmas and all that.
Hola, senor.
No, me no Spanish at all.
Miss you, old bean. Hello, Eddie.
I miss you guys, brother. Roger, let me ask you this quickly. Your thoughts before we go back to talking about the match review again, your thoughts with regard to Bolly and Co going straight to the dressing room after games. What do you make of it? Do you think it's okay? Or do you think probably because Frank Lampard is just there as an interim manager? Because some manager wouldn't like that. It could cause friction between the owners and the manager. But your thoughts?
Yeah, you're not going to like this answer, but it's pretty much a cultural thing. If you look at American sports, American owners are quite often in the locker room, not for a cup game or a playoff game. They're often in the locker rooms.
Not like when the team wins a trophy and they're celebrating.
No, it's very different. Wow. I look at the Dallas Mavericks owner. I look at the Dallas Cowboys owner, Jerry Jones. He's constantly. In fact, he does a lot of the interviews outside the locker room, where he exits the locker room after a game, post-match interview. So, and other owners too. I'm not just specifically saying Dallas because I follow the team, but that's the norm. Do you understand? So it's a cultural thing. Perhaps he may need to seek advice and understand that maybe it's misperceived in Europe or Britain per se, but it's very much the norm back in the States.
Yeah, but the normal thing. Yeah, go ahead.
It's much to do about nothing because he was seen in the locker room. The owners like Egbali and Bowley were seen in locker rooms before. I don't know about Tuchel, but definitely under Potter quite often. So they talked about it. I understand that it could be perceived as micromanaging, what have you, but no, I think it's a form of bonding and camaraderie more than anything.
But when it be better of having the meetings on the training ground rather than in the dressing room after a game immediately? Wouldn't it be again? Some managers wouldn't like that.
No, listen. It can be. You can look at it both ways. I get it, Coach. But you can also look at it this way: that he only comes in, or they only come in when we win. That they're never present when we lose. Well, guess what? They're being in the locker room when we lose. So you can look at it both ways. I'm playing obviously devil's advocate once more.
But sorry, Roger.
You're damned if you do. You're damned if you don't.
Yeah, exactly, Coach.
Sorry, Roger. Would that have been pre-planned? Like, would the manager be aware of them coming into the dressing room beforehand?
Perhaps not. Especially
Really?
like Frank. Well, you know what? Frank did play in America, didn't he? Didn't he play for
New York FC? I think so.
Yeah.
That's the franchise of Manchester City.
Exactly. So he may have actually experienced it there, where the owners were in the locker room. Perhaps, I don't know. I'm just assuming. Perhaps he may have seen that, or executives there. Perhaps he may not have. Listen, MLS is. I can't really speak about MLS in the States because I'm not a big follower of it. So I apologize. But I know in basketball and the NFL and possibly baseball, hockey I don't know, football I don't know, but that's quite the norm. So it's much to do about nothing, I believe.
Let me catch up with a bit of what we have in the chat. We'll continue with the match review.
Sure.
I wonder if Romana can lend me. Okay, I can buy Chelsea. Good luck. Good luck. I'll try and find out for you. Frederick Sango.
Why is he only asking for 8? Why not do 10, a round number? I'm joking.
Yeah, exactly. He's not greedy, maybe. Frederick Sango says that this is a learning curve for the owners, and I believe they will come good. I think they've learned enough already. I think we're still suffering from that first mistake of firing Tuchel. That's the mistake we're still suffering from. Yeah, that's they haven't made too many mistakes actually, if you ask me. But that's my opinion. May someone else may see that differently. But friendly, nice to see you, Coachella. I am wondering if CFC serve free popcorns in that luxury recreation room they were planning. What would be more entertaining, whatever goes inside that room or outside? Ah, my goodness. JC, stop doing this to me. Maybe what goes inside, just to keep it simple, because I'm not sure how to answer that one. My score prediction is for tomorrow is 1-1. I think there will be more than, I think there will be up to 5 goals in that game. Just remember, I told you that. But I mean, sorry?
All going to Madrid.
I knew you were going to say something. Rodrigo, I definitely knew you were going to say something.
Yeah.
My score prediction, yeah, I've read that one. Let's see what happens. And I told you that it's going to be up to 5 goals, but let's see what happens. Imagine being an Arsenal fan. They have a best season and they are bottling the league, while we have the worst season since 2015. At the end, trophies for Arsenal, error for 404. I need that one. I think that will make a good tweet that Chelsea fans will enjoy. Let's see what else we have here. This is kind of slow. I am from Ohio, and Bolly needs to get lost from the picnic with hot dogs, hamburgers, and cornhole. Cornhole, is that cornhole?
Yeah.
After the season, we're not in the States. I think he has to again adapt to this is football and it's different, really. I hope he understands that. Some conversations there. Let's see what else we have. Bolly needs to understand that that flashing wealth and power is perceived as stupid in many parts of Europe, even frowned upon in places like Scandinavian and the Baltics. Wow, we're going deep now. Okay, what's your take on Ruben Amorim rumors? It's not that serious. It's not that serious. Go ahead, Rodrigo. You wanted to say something?
Keep him away. Let him grow as a manager.
Yeah, let him grow first. It's no different from a higher Porter, and it will not. It's not actually. Let's say AVB. AVB won the league without losing a single game with Porter, didn't he?
Exactly. So
And we hired
I don't know why.
Amazing.
I don't know why we rush like these young managers. Come on, we can have them in 10 years, 15 years time when they when they have more experience. Right now, we need to get steady hand, experienced man to come in, almost like a father figure to these players. I feel like, I don't know if you guys touch on this. I feel like when I watch Chelsea, it's not that the players have down tools. I don't see that. Even under Graham Potter and the Lampard so far, I haven't seen players down in tool. What I'm seeing is players bereft of ideas, of instructions.
I agree.
So obviously, from Graham Potter, obviously he's a qualified coach, right? The only thing he probably lacked is that, that.
With one exception, Rodrigo, Ziyech, that one.
Yeah. Obviously, the exception to the rule, isn't it?
Yeah. That was the only exception. Yeah. I just wanted to point that out.
What I'm saying is, you can see Graham Potter is a qualified coach. We're not here to discredit that. Only thing, obviously, the man lacked is maybe that edge to it, maybe to push these players to the limit, to push these players to be almost like the bad cop in the dressing room. Maybe he didn't have that, right? Yeah. But Lampard obviously is not qualified. Lampard for me is
we actually played 10 million times better on the Potter. I can't believe I'm saying that.
That's obvious.
The only thing we didn't do is put away
Lampard is obviously not qualified.
Wow, we're giving Rogers. We're making Rogers happy here now. Yes.
But that's a fact.
This is admissible. This is admissible in court, coach.
Graham Potter deserves to be sacked. Okay. But we're not gonna sit here and pretend Lampard is anywhere near the level or the qualification that Graham Potter has.
Can I just say something? Yeah. Seriously, sorry to interject, Rodrigo, but listen, I am not defending him. Listen, I'm being really honest here. I think if you brought in virtually anyone right now, he
was hired less than 48 hours before his first game. Lampard, I'm talking about.
Okay.
And then he's had 3 games in 7 days. Now, we knew what we were buying. Well, when I say we were buying when we were hiring, because
Not
of
they.
no, I'm talking about us as an entity, as a fan base, etc. Yeah,
Okay.
you're right. No, I get it. I get the context there. But I'm saying we knew that he was more progressive in attacking, and that his priority for defense wasn't his forte, shall we say. Listen, I'm looking at this purely from a goalkeeper's point of view. This last game, for instance, did we regress defensively? I didn't see our captain hand the referee an invitation card to give to their captain to say, please shoot at will, because there was no shutting down for like 90% of the time. They were just shooting at will. Our defensive line on midfielders were not closing down. And that was like, this is like Sunday League. And, it's like... 20, what was it, 26 or 28 shots?
Here's where I knew we were in trouble, Roger.
Yeah.
The moment during his first interview and the start of his second stint at Chelsea manager, he said, I have my own ideas. I was like, we're in trouble.
We're in trouble, yes.
We're in trouble.
I understand. I get it.
Just keep it the way Potter has been doing
Even
Just
that guy.
I would have gone from trying to motivate the players alone.
Bruno
Yeah.
guy. Bruno guy.
Do you know what though? A lot of ex-professionals, like Steve Nicol, who's not a Chelsea fan. You look at people like that, and he said no one can come in right now with this side squad and be able to get something out of the squad. It's too over bloated. He said he's never seen anything like it. Usually
but you get my point, Roger, in terms of the moment he said, I have my own idea.
No,
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, and I was like saying, don't do that. Don't do that, Frank. Don't do that.
But listen,
I think he probably thought, if I play my cards right, it's politics. I play my cards right, I might get this job. But I think it's been made clear to him, like, listen, mate, you are here as an interim. There's no job for you here. You do your job. I think Lampard should see this as an opportunity to build his reputation.
Well, that's what he said, though. He said,
but whatever happens, the only thing that saves that only helps his resume is if it beats, if we overcome the 2 goals deficit against Real Madrid and make it to the semi-final stage. Right now, 3 losses in a row. It doesn't matter whether he came in and started 15 minutes after he came.
Yeah. No, but it does, though. It does to a certain extent, because you can bring...
It does, but nobody checks that.
Yeah, no. But I think actually analysts are taken in consideration also.
Would you hire him? If you own a club?
If I own Chelsea, hypothetically...
no, not Chelsea. You own another club, and he ends the season with 3 losses in a row, and we end up getting knocked out of the Champions League, and maybe he just ends up winning just the Arsenal game. Would you hire him, saying because he took the game where the games are at the time where the games were coming in thick and fast?
Sure. He's an elite, was an elite player, the highest scoring midfielder in Premier League history, etc. We all know his resume. We all know he's a legend. He is, by definition, not an elite coach. He is on the road in coaching. He's
until proven otherwise, right?
Yeah, exactly. So listen, it could have been possible that he came in and won every single game for the next 3 years when he was first hired. It didn't transpire. Listen, he has deficiencies. He needs to grow. He probably needs to go to the Championship and like Derby, and then progress through there and earn your badges
and do a company, maybe do a company, progress to the Premier League with them. Keep doing well with them.
Yeah. There's no saying that he can't be a very good, if not successful, coach in the future. But at this present moment in time, I believe, and I'm not sure whose decision it was, whether it was our 3 executives or the owners, or it was an amalgamation. It should have been the executives, but this was obviously a decision to appease the fan base and to bring in spirits. And that, I heard you say earlier, while I was shaving, it's like we shouldn't have got rid of Potter. Now, I agree. You either let him have the season.
No.
Just hear me out.
Here's the argument. If you're not going to hire a permanent manager immediately, go ahead, Roger. Let's let Roger go.
No, I get it. You look at the calendar and you see, like, we have an international break. What was it, like 4, 5, 6 weeks ago, whenever? And you say, this is where the line of demarcation is. And we part ways with him, and you start interviewing on the sly. You put feelers out and you determine, I'm not talking about the owners, I'm talking about the executives. And then you determine this is the time that if we are going to pull the trigger, we do it when there's an international break. You don't do it 48 hours or less before.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It was poorly timed.
Where I disagree.
Sure, of course you can.
These owners, these owners didn't want to sack Graham Potter. They want to give him time. So for example, by any chance, because I know Graham Potter wasn't qualified in the end, I thought it was time for him to go. So by keeping him in the job, what if he went in and won few games, like the way he fluked those games against Leeds, Everton, and then he would have kept him. They would have kept him, and they would have said, "All right, let's give him a preseason." The closer you keep him to the end of the season,
I get it.
They will say, "Give him a preseason,"
or he wins the Champions League,
and then that's next season being written off. So I'm happy they fired him.
Yeah, I get it.
But
you get my argument, Roger.
Yeah,
What's that? Rodrigo.
No,
go ahead, Roger, if you wanted to say something.
Him. No, I don't think keeping him wasn't because either if you keep him, if result turn even more sour, you get fans that will start turning even more violent or whatever. Yeah. So I think it was good to get rid of him. Obviously, the only problem is I don't agree at the time when I think they should have got rid of him. I wanted him to get rid of him way earlier.
Like Roger said earlier, when there's space for the new manager to come in.
Yeah, I
don't mind the interim manager. I think the interim manager doesn't really. They could have, if Anthony Barry, for example, wasn't really tempted to go to Bayern, he could have been the interim. He was the manager of Wigan, or if this Bruno guy actually wanted to build a name as a manager, could have stayed on. So I don't really see as an issue. I'm not really fussed about Lampard being here because I know.
But don't you think they should have then, if they were going to decide?
I don't think they were going to decide. This again, Roger. This is to prove to you how much they had faith in Potter.
Yeah. No, I get it. I understand your logic.
They didn't want to get rid of him.
So do you think then it was the executives that pulled the trigger and not the owners? The owners didn't want any part, and I get it because they lose face and they wanted to believe, perhaps naively. Well, obviously naively, not perhaps. But you know what I'm saying. So,
yeah.
But just my logic. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just looking at it from a perspective. And listen, hindsight is 2020, right? It's easy for us to Monday morning quarterback, and with hindsight. But we said this before. If you're going to part ways with Potter, you should have done it when you have an. This is just my logic. Not do it at such a point. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. That's my only observation. I would have liked to have seen him end the season and see what happens.
Yeah, that's one thing I didn't.
No. I get it. I get it.
There's a risk they might actually keep him and give him a preseason. I'm glad they got rid of him.
But notice what De Servi said in his post-match interview. He credited Potter for Brighton.
Wasn't the game harder? They actually beat us 4-1. They said that game was harder than this one.
Yeah. No, but he actually said it's like he built the genesis, the nucleus of this team. He did well over 3 years or whatever.
But we know that. Yeah, sorry, Roger, but we know that is the standard. It's the standard practice. Whatever anybody comes now will give credit to Lampard. I credit Lampard. You have to just say normal. It's normal.
He didn't have to say it. That's all I'm trying to say. But you're right, though. The one thing I do want to say is this is one. Listen, coaches coach and players play. We have gone 6.5 hours where we didn't have a goal, and the only goal we had was a deflected goal. Yeah, it was going on target, but the keeper probably, without making a mistake, would have saved it. So you're looking at the fact that we're ignoring the big, not elephant, mammoth, woolly mammoth in the room that we do not have the capacity to be clinical. We're not even coming close half the time. This is what we need to address. You know, I was hoping that Lampard would address it and maybe, I was about to say wave his magic wand, but that's a little bit too close to the previous manager. But you know what I'm saying, and that hasn't transpired. You have to listen. You can blame the coach / manager. I get it, because they get too much credit and too much blame. But you also have to put responsibility on the players. And I get you have to put the players in a position for them to succeed also. But when they're in the 6-yard line or the 12-yard box, you know, the 18-yard box, and they're woefully missing the target or not even getting
the coach have to help them kick it into the post. That's what exactly. I think.
So by the way, I just want to say, yeah, exactly. I just want to say one thing very quickly. I watched a video of us this season. We've hit the post 15 times.
I think we are second to Aston Villa.
Yeah, so one of them was by, what's his name, Mount, that hit the post, and then I believe it was Koulibaly tapped it in like 3 yards out. So you can't call that a chance because it led to a goal. And the other one was Kai's penalty that was ruled to be taken again. So 13 times, and I think 11 out of the 13 were in the Premier League that we've hit the post. Well, we're just not clinical. We need to address not this today.
I think it wasn't. It's not. Obviously, you're looking at one aspect. I'm looking at another aspect. We weren't pressing. This is actually now what Lampard actually said. Players are not physically fit. This ties to what I was seeing on the pitch. We weren't pressing. Remember, we were questioning ourselves, like, why are we not pressing teams as high as like, you remember under Tuchel, we used to press teams really high and win the ball
efficiently.
Now what Lampard has said, the players are not physically fit. Again, that goes back to obviously preseason is done, but when Graham Potter came in, because of his nature, I don't think he's someone that someone like confrontational. Do you know what I mean? So he didn't want to trying to push the players physically. You know what's his name? The Everton manager, Sean Dyche. You know what? His first week, he literally made the players like do lots of runs or lots of physical exercise.
Well, Ten Hag did it also, and he ran with them.
I don't think Graham Potter was doing that, and therefore that affected the players' physical. Lampard actually mentioned that, and now I can see it. I can see on the pitch. We're not running high, or when we're running, players are falling over the ball. Like it's just they don't look fit. They still look like they're in pre-season mode. It's because again, the previous manager wasn't really pushing them to the physical.
Rodrigo, you said that you don't believe we're down tools, and I agree with you. But I also believe that this team is frustrated and they're not on the same page. I think this game highlighted that. They looked as if they'd never played together before. And I'm not saying they didn't care. I'm not saying that at all. But there's also another aspect you need to remember, and that's, guess what? We were playing without Kante, and we're a different team without Kante also.
I was waiting for Roger to say that.
I know, right?
True.
Look at that.
No, but it's true. It's true. He makes a difference. Guys, let me catch up with what we have in the chat. Let's come back to the match review. Otherwise, but I'm enjoying the discussion though because I've missed it quite a lot.
Yeah.
Big up Coachella, DJ. Big up to you too. And the panel. So you decided Chelsea are done for tomorrow. I didn't say that. Come on, people, back your team. Yes, we're rubbish at the moment. I have good feelings about tomorrow. I hope it happens. Like I've always said, Chelsea is the entity I support. It doesn't matter who's in charge or how badly. And I'm not the one to say the game is done until the final whistle is blown. Agreed, Sporting fan. I'd have to see. I'd hate to see him get rushed in and run out like all the others. Let him take his time. He's shown he has the potential to become an excellent manager, but he needs time. Loved the in-depth feedback. Thank you. You're welcome, brother. Thank you so much for asking us such a good question. Hey, Coach, I hope you're well. I'm well. Michael, my bro, big up. Always nice to see you, brother. If you're a Chelsea fan here and you're not subscribed to Michael Talks Football channel, you're missing. I know he's a Liverpool fan, but he covers every club: Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United, Italian clubs, La Liga clubs, Serie A clubs, League R clubs, and he's an excellent football analyst. So you should go check out his channel. Make sure to subscribe and let him know I sent you. Nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Let's see what else we have here in the chat. Mourinho is a baby Mourinho. I think he's more progressive than Mourinho, actually. Welcome back. Thank you so much, Choma. Always nice to see you here. Let me see that one. There's a bit slow. I want to catch it, so we'll go back into the match review again. Let me see. My screen is a bit slow. Sorry, what's cracking you up? Roger with excuses again. Okay.
Just being honest.
That's the first shot at you today, right?
Yeah.
Real Madrid had 35 shots at goal in their last game and 70% possession. Those are dominating numbers, very similar to the ones Brighton had against us. It was scary. It was like we're a newly promoted team, and they've been playing in the Premier League for 1,000 years. Happy Monday to you too, Chama. Thank you so much. Let's see what DJ says here. Totally agree with Rodrigo. Potter needed to get sacked to Hogwarts and learn new magic on how to have a winning mentality. I think getting another job isn't going to be easy either. But I heard Leicester were looking at him. I don't know.
He said no. Yeah.
Okay.
I think if I'm Potter, I'll go to West Ham.
And he needs time.
Yeah.
I think he needs a break. He needs some self-reflection. If he rushes into it, he might end up continuing making mistakes he made at Chelsea.
I don't think he needs. I think even he himself, when he reflects back, he will see Chelsea as a madhouse. He's not gonna. Yeah, Chelsea's a madhouse.
Yeah, let's be honest. It is.
It was never his fault. He can say that.
No. I know I criticized him a lot during his time here, but when you sit back, reflect, a lot of the things that went wrong, I put a lot on the owners. The owners just least
order.
That's unbelievable coming from you. Yeah. I can't believe what I'm hearing.
I put it on the owners, man. They got this guy that's not highly qualified. I mean, he's never managed a big club. You give him this tough job. On top of that, you give him a bunch of plays in January.
It was compounded by that, wasn't it? It was just
yeah.
And within the listen, you have to be honest here. The amount of injuries that we incurred on
it didn't help. It didn't help.
Yeah,
of course not. And I'd like to see any coach with this amount of injuries succeed. It doesn't happen.
Yeah, I think that usually how beginning of
it was
the season,
the perfect storm.
A lot of teams are still in the preseason mode. Like when we had to those early games, you can tell they're still in that phase. Even Man City, they usually struggle at the beginning of the season. I think when they got rid of Tuchel, maybe Tuchel had the training regime to make the player catch up with the preseason and to catch up with the form. But you got rid of him, got in someone who had a preseason plan with Brighton, has his different philosophy, and then you bring him in, and then it's just a mess. I think the owners would take.
Gentlemen, can I just say something here? You know, I'm a big a big Tuchel fan. Seriously, I would want him back in a heartbeat. But honestly, hypothetically, if we didn't get rid of him, we were playing awful also. I believe he wasn't fired because of football reasons. I think that's established. But you must concur, though, we were not exactly playing well.
That's what I was saying. We were not playing awful. The reason why, I think it stemmed from pre-season, from the fact that our transfer window, all of that compounded to the fact that we weren't playing well. So I feel like he would have known. A lot of teams start season slowly. I've seen Man City... Yeah. There's a season where they won the league. They were like 15. After people are questioning Guardiola.
Yeah.
Some players, they need to catch up with the fitness. And usually, I think managers or physios, all these people, they will have plans to build up their fitness to the point where maybe after 10 games in a season, then you start firing. So if you let the manager carry on, they'll work. They'll be able to work through that.
Rodrigo, especially with his squad, because a lot of his squad plays internationally. So during the break, that's why. You're right.
Yeah, exactly. So I think would have been. I would say it would have been fighting for the top four. We would have been where we are now. I don't think so. I think we would have been, because the manager himself demanded a level of like performance. He wouldn't have tolerated seeing Chelsea where we are. I think that's where Graham Potter, that's where the blame comes to him. He didn't demand enough of the players. I think he almost allowed he became like a kindergarten. He allowed the players to run around, and the players start calling him nicknames. Once that happens, that's it, man. You lose
calling him soft
in the dressing room.
All right. Super Frankie Lampard, come on, guys. We were expecting him to win the Champions League. The season was over. Just relax and enjoy the individual moments. Like Mudrik's goal tomorrow. I hope that happens. But Jesse, you and I have a beef. We're beefing right now with the way he's. Now, here's the thing. The shocking aspect, we're not seeing the positive vibes actually that Frank was supposed to bring to the fan base. If anything, it compounded the division within the fan base. I'm seeing that firsthand. Let's see what Lampard has his own ideas, and that is to really Chelsea. I'm not going to read the rest of it. Okay, thank you. Enrique is still my first choice over Nagelsmann or Amorim. If Enrique does not come in, then either Amorim or Nagelsmann. I'm going to try to get to the very bottom as soon as possible, so we'll go back to reviewing the match. If Lampard thinks that's how you build a reputation, then he must be living in Jupiter. He thought maybe he could come in and win the remaining games, because he's not going to take it if he didn't believe he was going to win the remaining games, or at least do well. If you asked him before, I don't think he'd say he'd fathom or see himself losing the first 3 games in a row. Anyone silly enough to give Lamps a Premier League deserves to be relegated. Not that I wanted it to happen to us. I still believe it's not going to happen to us, but
no,
it's scary. Did you quote Stephen Nicole, Roger? That's the furthest you can go to the left, and any further is that correct? Correct territory. Beware of the trolls.
Jesus.
No, it's true though. This squad is bloated, and to ask any manager to be successful, I think any elite manager would struggle.
Elite manager, they will come and cut off the people that they don't want. They will banish them. And Mourinho coming to this squad, he will banish them. He will banish the players. Be like, okay.
Mourinho will come. You'd see Mount Gallagher start, but you'd see them getting. You will be ugly. You won't enjoy it, but he will be winning games.
Yeah, but he will banish the other guys. He will tell the other.
Yeah.
He will tell the other 10 guys, listen, you are not needed. You're gonna go train on the pitch with the kid.
Yeah, that's it. For short term, but not long term.
Yeah, but that's what we needed. It's short term because we're gonna sell those players anyways.
Roger, I have to be honest. And before I catch up this, I really want to, because we don't have too much time now. If I were the owners, I'd prioritize stabilizing the club first, before planning on long-term project. And now, I'd advise them, put aside. I'm doing a tapping on the beautiful game actually. Put aside the long-term project at the moment. Get Chelsea back to where it needs to be, because there's no room in the Premier League now. If you're taking too much time to come start fighting for top 4, then you might not be able to get back in. It will take us as long as it took Arsenal to get back in.
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, let me catch up with the chat here.
I mean,
Coach, when we asked Roger if he comes to the court prepared with this case theories, or is he so talented that he can make them up? I think he makes them up as he goes. But Roger, you go ahead.
No, listen. I think a proportion of blame has to be given all around. We're talking from the executives to the owners to the coaching staff to the players. I think it's a collective failure.
No, it's not down to the players. It's not down to the managers alone. It's not down to the owners alone.
I think it's across the board. I think people were learning on the job in many instances. You got a lot of young players, an influx that have just moved to the country. There's just an amalgamation. It's the perfect storm. And this is what's transpired. Listen, this is why most clubs don't do this. They don't go, not that they can splash the cash, but they don't overhaul the squad within 1 year. Look at Forest. They did it, and look what they're doing. That usually teams do it bit by bit. That's why it's
what manager what's your manager like?
I have honestly, I've said this before. I'm actually at a loss. I'm not sure. I don't know enough about Nagelsmann. You know, I get Martinez. You know, he could
Martinez.
be. Yeah, Luis Enrique Martinez. Luis Enrique is his first name.
Okay.
Martinez is his surname. So I'm not sure about him. I don't know. It's not someone that's got, you know, flashing, you know, lights to say this is the obvious choice. It's I think I'm quite certain that I don't want Mourinho back, because I think long term he will split the locker room. Short term, yes, he'll do very well. Coach is right.
I don't think he'll take this job now.
No. But I'm just saying, no. I honestly can't say I want Coach A or B. I have to bow down to people that know more than me on this subject. I don't know enough to give an informed opinion. I'm just being honest. For me to say, you know, no, I actually can't say that. I would want Tuchel back, but that's never going to happen. So I can't say who I want. I really don't.
Yeah.
I think,
let me just catch up with the chat. We're running out of time.
Yeah, sure.
And Eddie, the reason why I muted you was that we're getting feedback from you. So if you can find a solution to that, that will help. Let me see what else we have here. What do we have quickly here? If Nagelsmann had been in charge of this process instead of Potter, then things would have been different. But we've fallen too far for Nagelsmann now. We need a modern-day heating to steady the ship. Honestly, that's how I see it. And that was the tapping I was talking about, because I read that before. We need to steady the ship, first of all, before talking about long-term project. That's how I see it. Big up to Coach and to the panel. Sean, the New York guy, always nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining the show. We needed to temporarily abandon the process. Another tapping I did on him. Steady the vessel, boost morale, unite the squad, unite the fan base. You know, make sure our status as one of the biggest clubs in Europe remain intact before talking about long-term project. Because
this is where project. Sorry, go on. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Let me go ahead.
I was about to say, this is where they need to sign. I hear Lavia, I hear this guy. They're very good players, but I think we need to sign some experienced players, aged between maybe 26, 28 years old players to come in and impact the squad. I think signing another 19-year-old, another 18-year-old here and there, it's not good to, and bring them straight to the first team is not what we need right now.
Yeah,
they need to be playing in the satellite team.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
It's okay.
Oh. Go ahead, Roger. You were saying something.
They need to be playing in the satellite team.
Yeah, it makes sense. The annoying thing, people, is Enrique wanted to take the job straight away, but Todd Bowley annoyed him by deciding to bring in Lampard in. I have to ask now, has that ship sailed? I don't think it has shipped. We're hearing that they scheduled more. They've scheduled more talk with Enrique. He's not out of the question yet. But I would have given it to him if he was eager to face Real Madrid. I would say, okay, beat them and you got the job. Honestly, because he has his pedigree to back up his hiring. If indeed the club hired him, so the Zerbi was trolling Porter. I don't believe what he said. Mr. Polito, always nice to see you. Owners made a mistake expecting our manager bounce. It might work with an experienced lineup, lacking belief, but this lineup needs instruction. They are too young with too many new pieces, and Lampard isn't it. Lots of solid points there, and I appreciate that. Why Lampard didn't want help of a Rangard at first. I'm not sure what you're referencing. Maybe rephrase it. No, I am not buying it. Potter is who fleeced us for 13 million. I never did believe it. Believe in magic, but yeah, you've experienced it firsthand right now. I'm guessing. Tuchel was the captain of the Titanic. What was what was he meant to do? He gets a bucket and start bailing out water. Maybe that would be the case. So I'm going to go scroll to the very bottom. We need a coach that can make the new players believe while we transition out of the old guard. Yep, I think we need that. And Glenn, nice to see you, brother. We cannot give ChatGPT a try. we can give ChatGPT a try at the money to say, oh yeah, that's the running thing now, the AI. Probably will pick the best lineup, but you need to put in numbers for it to work with. Humans will still be involved. You need to put in numbers, so it looks at the numbers and says, okay, this is your best option.
Coach.
And then you need to put in how Real Madrid plays, the best players, then it tells you who to pick. It could work.
I actually used ChatGPT over the weekend for the first time for some research. I'm telling you,
it's ridiculous, isn't it?
It's wow. I feel sorry for the younger generation coming up. It's going to be hard for them to find a job. And
their brain will be fried. And here's the thing, in the sense that they're not going to learn anything on their own. But here's how to find out if somebody uses ChatGPT and they don't know what they're doing. Usually, it's AI. They work with an already available information.
Yeah, no, I get it. Well, actually,
when somebody uses it, usually you see them pull all the information while they're trying to say something about a current event. Like
universities in the States, and I think in Europe, they have software that they license out, and they can tell whether it's a paper's been plagiarized. But I think with this new ChatGPT, I think it gets around that from what I saw on CNN a couple of months ago.
Yeah, because you can say it's capable of producing something unique, not like something it has produced before. Yeah. But I know what you call we use something called similarity check. That's what it's called.
I can't remember the software name. Sorry.
Yeah, but no, the one we use in my school is called similarity check. Sure. Luis Enrique is the obvious better option, but now this man has better self-esteem. Okay, I'm not sure. Do you really mean selfies or something else? I'm not sure what you mean there. We can, we can do that. It would do a good job. Lamp's second stint at Chelsea dugout, 3 games, 3 losses, as you all know. God forbid, should this continue until the end of the season, he will be the first manager with a 0-win record. That's a bad start. That's a chance it happens, actually, because the games we have are not easy. Mason Mount to stay at Chelsea, possibly, I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on. Let's see, Bali should steady the ship by himself. He sunk it, but if it's sunk, then you're not going to steady it. Maybe recover it. Let's see, people. Sorry, I'm going to scroll to the very bottom because quite a lot there. TT would be everyone's first choice to come back. However, Roger, the reason why Enrique fits the bill, his experience, being in the game longer than Nagelsmann, plus he's a winner. He's been there, done that.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Tuchel is a cup competition manager. He's not someone who can drag us to the league title through 38 matches. I've heard a lot of people argue that does anyone know if Enrique can ride a skateboard? I really do not know. Jesse says, Roger, the younger generation is much ahead of the curve. My son learned coding Python, etc. in class 7-8. Now they are teaching quantum physics in the 11th grade. Yep.
I was doing my 12 times table then.
A lot have changed. I'm actually teaching my 6-year-old how to code, and he's grasping it quite well. Roger Potter blamed Tuchel's pre-season. Now Lampard blamed Potter's fitness regime. What have you to say? Okay, Roger, answer that one so we can move on quickly.
No, I mean, listen, I think the term excuse is used, but there's also a word called, how should I put this, a reason. So you could look at one thing to say there's an excuse, but there's a reason why. It's a collective. Listen, do these managers have deficiencies? Yes, of course they do. Are they elite managers? No, they're not. No one's saying that. But they didn't exactly have the roll of the dice, the luck of the draw, however you want to to label it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not sticking up for. All joking aside, we joke a lot, but I'm just being honest. You know, you need a lot of luck to be successful in any sport. You know, so just being honest.
Yeah,
And
I agree with you.
Can I just say something very quickly? There is one coach that I think fits the bill for a long-term project where he's worked with youth in multiple clubs and has been successful and plays pretty attractive football. And I don't want him in our club. No, say that again.
Graham Potter?
No, shut up. No, not even I would say that. Not even I would do that. But based on his track record, but because of the club he used to coach, I would
no. I know where you're going. I know where you're going. No, please, no.
No, I'm just saying, no. What he did at Southampton was amazing. What he did at Spurs was quite well. He worked with a lot of youth. He's an accomplished, respected coach. Anyone can fail at PSG. There's just way too many.
He won at PSG, actually.
But he won.
I'm just saying, generally speaking. That
only issue, Roger, with Poch is our fans, the hate that we have for Spurs.
As long as he's coached Tottenham.
Yeah, exactly. Let's say he never coached Tottenham. I would want him. I'll be honest with you. Yeah. He could succeed, I think.
And if he's struggling, people will just
let's let Eddie speak, because as we're talking, if we unmute his mic, we'll be getting the feedback. Go ahead, Eddie.
Yeah, no, sorry, coach. I just need to leave for now. If I get back, if you're still on, I will get back. Okay, please.
All right.
Thanks.
Go ahead, Rodrigo.
Yeah, I was saying, with a manager like that, any sort of like bad form, because he has that baggage being from Spurs, I just feel like the fans will be on his back from so he's not gonna be nice. So I know he's never really said anything bad when he was
he hasn't
by Chelsea. But if he wasn't a Tottenham manager, I think he should have been up there with Nagelsmann and Enrique as strong candidate.
Because he fits the bill with his MO, with how he builds a club. He's the opposite of Mourinho.
He was ill-equipped, really.
Yeah, he's the opposite of Mourinho when you look at how
he overachieved. Yes. He overachieved.
So that's my logic. But don't forget, we actually had Liverpool's former, what's his name? I forgot his name. The Spaniard. And he said a lot of, about Chelsea.
Yeah, Benitez,
Rafa.
Back in the day. Rafa Benitez, yeah. And look, he did well for us. So,
all right.
That's what I wanted to say. So,
yeah, we have about 30 minutes just to round up. Rodrigo haven't said anything about the match. And I think you too, Roger. Roger, we've read that one. And my bro, Glenn, Bally said he has no favorites. That's why he will decide the new manager job with a what? With a skateboard race. Okay. Turnitin is a software. Yeah, there's one that's called Turnitin. At Wilmington University, we use Turnitin. At GCU, we use I think Similarity, something Similarity, or is it one of them? Either of them uses Turnitin. One of them uses something called something that sounds like a similarity check. Yeah, I think Wilmington used Turnitin or GCU. I'm not sure which one. What result did ChatGPT predict for tomorrow? They don't do predictions. They will tell you that too.
Yeah.
What else do we have here? Joke aside, if it wasn't for the robbery at the start of the season against Spurs, we'd have 40 points. Well, we don't have it. I get where you're going. All about the skateboard arena. Saying big up to Glenn. And let's see what happens. He's a new client of Roger. Just signed yesterday.
That's funny.
Big up everyone. And my bro, thanks for checking up on me, asking how I was doing. Big up to Kachila and the panel. Good to see you, gang bang. Thank you so much. We're back. The gang is back. All of us. Only just getting up, going to have to restart the stream. Big up to you, bro. Much love. You know I love you so much. Always nice to see you. All good, Glenn. Okay, just waiting. Hey, let's see what happens. What's the consensus on formation for tomorrow? I think we'll do formation and line up during the Blue Morning Show tomorrow because we have a few hours before the game starts. So we'll do the lineup. And But I think it would most likely be a three at the back. Not, I'm just saying that off the top of my head, but you have to look at the situation very well before you say, okay, this is what we think is going to happen tomorrow. What else do we have here? I think that's it. We'll go back to the lineup building. And if you're watching, if you haven't, please do take a second, drop a like on the stream. We're at 68 likes, 2 more to get it to 70 likes. Please, let's get it to 70 likes, just 2 more. And if we can get it to 100, that would be good. If you haven't, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, that will also go a long way. Thank you so much for all the likes and all the love and for your patience until I return. Hopefully, I'll find a co-host who will be available, even if I'm not around. The show goes on. That would be awesome. Become a member. It costs just $2.99. It is pinned at the very top. Become a member to help us support students and other stuff, and also the channel. And we will still do the giveaway for the month of April, but not today. Hopefully, we'll have enough people tomorrow. I want to see most of the members know that most of our members that are students know that we'll start streaming again. I will make up whatever. We didn't get enough from the members to do it, but I will make it up the amount of how much I have in mind to give. And we'll do the giveaway for the students tomorrow. But that's by the way. So thank you so much again. This says each appointment made by Todd Bowley has taken us backwards. Coach, do you agree? No, I wouldn't. You could. I agree. Probably Vivera will be one of those that must have told them. I don't think Potter's appointment is working. We need to do something differently. I think Vivera will still come good. I wouldn't say that, but you have every right to your argument there, and I understand that. I am generally confused about what Lampard would do. He's had 3 different formations in 3 different games, and all failed. Does he try something new tomorrow? Roger, you take that one.
You know, to be honest with you, for instance, the score lines in Brighton flattered us. And then you look at the scoreline versus Real Madrid. We were lucky to come away with only conceding 2 goals. Let's be honest. It hasn't
when you say the Brighton game would have been worse, actually.
Well, definitely. If you look at the statistics, 26 shots on goal. Sorry, 26 shots, 10 on goal, on target. So our 8 total and our 2 on target. These are embarrassing. What was it? 8 corners to 2? I mean, I don't know what the XG was. I didn't look at it. I don't think.
For which one?
For the Brighton game. I don't think it takes Einstein to figure out that we probably had less than half a point and they probably had over 2. I mean, let's. I know you've got to give. Kepa did quite well, actually. He had some outstanding saves, especially that one that he tipped it on the crossbar. He did well, but we were horrible defensively. We
Oh no, it was this far that we lost.
Yeah. Listen, we're going to need luck tomorrow playing. We really are. We're going to.
Did you not hear the fan base? It was all his fault.
Yeah, no, I get it. Whatever. They never played the position. Coach, we need a bit of luck where, like, maybe they get a player sent off. We get an early goal, something like that. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. This is what can happen in this sport. And this is why it's a cup competition where, generally speaking, you look at City, they've probably been the best team in Europe for the last couple of seasons, but they haven't won it. So we just need Lady Luck on our side. Otherwise, let's be honest, we're going to get trounced. We need for them to have a poor game, and we need to play disciplined, and we need to be clinical, and maybe we need some luck from the refs. Let's be honest. Otherwise, I don't see us advancing. I just hope it's a respectable scoreline. This is what I'm hoping for. This is how low the bar is for me. Not a pessimist. I'm a realist.
Wow.
Just being honest. I mean,
no, but I get your argument. So you don't see us getting anything. Let's say the game ending in a draw, let alone in the total goals they've scored. They score more goals than us, and they go through. You don't see that happen. You see them mopping the floor with us. That's basically what you're saying.
Yeah, especially when you look at Courtois, their keeper. He is playing incredibly well. They raise their game. They own this competition. You might as well call it the Real Madrid European Championship. They own it. They've got 14 of those Prince Charles or King Charles trophies with the big ears. This is prolific. We use that term often, but it's so apt and suitable. That they excel in this competition where they don't in their own league. To them, the league isn't as important as this. This is their priority, and it has been for since the 50s. Do you understand? It's and they do. They listen. Last season they were outplayed by Liverpool, by Chelsea, by City, and yet don't forget they were 2-0 down in the 88th or 89th minute versus City, and they won. They don't panic. They believe in themselves. Oh yeah, and by the way, they've got
and that's where experience comes in.
Yeah, and they've got very talented players that are clinical, they're world class, they're elite, they're all pro, or every one of them. And so for us to advance, we're going to. Listen. If we had to play them 10 times, we would lose probably 7 or 8 of those, and maybe.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I'm just being honest.
No, I believe you. It's just concerning, really.
Yeah, it is. It's very disconcerting because I want to say, oh yeah, we're going to wipe the floor with them because we're much better than them, but that's not the case. If you're looking at this as a neutral and you've got no emotional investment in the game, you would have to be naive to say anything other than what I've just stated. To be honest with you.
Yeah, the fact that remains as Chelsea fans that we're biased even without knowing it. But I get it. You always would want your team to win.
Yeah, but I listen. We could. It's possible. That's why we love the game. However, as I said, lately the fact that we haven't scored in over 6 hours, 5.5 games, and that goal was a deflected goal. It's like we lack the ability to score, which is a huge technicality. It's massive. That alone, just oh my God, I cringe at that thought. So we need luck like a deflection. We need luck like an own goal, or Courtois to be sent off or whatever, or he gets the flu. We need things to go our way. Otherwise, we're not advancing. Hopefully, I'm proven wrong.
Yeah, I will come back and then we'll look at the inside. We've looked at the team's current form. Good day, everyone. Good day to you too, Supreme Court. I hope you're doing well. What else do we have here? Whatever he does, please do not start Felix up front with Sterling. I would say maybe Sterling is awful. He's been awful. I just don't know what to say about him, really.
This last match, I haven't seen the game for a second time. I haven't brought myself to do this because I'm not a masochist, But
and I've gone from saying Sterling has been awful to Sterling is awful because it doesn't look like it's going to change.
And coach, I'm not just saying it because I said this from day one. But this is how I've watched him so many times prior to coming to Chelsea. He does have positive attributes. I will be honest, especially in the locker room, off the field. He's a mature, nice person. He makes intelligent runs, etc. But coach, he's not technical. He has a very poor first touch. And man, you look at Pulisic. You look at them. They were pushed off the ball. They were just. He looked lost, like he's never seen a ball before. I actually hope that, I think we should sell him. We should move on.
It will be difficult to see who will give us enough money. Whatever he does, I agree with you. And this one here says, bless up to saying hello to Glenn there. What do we have? Should I watch tomorrow's game? The pain is just watch it. Just watch it, but don't expect too much. That's my only advice. Hello to you too, Nowak. I hope you're doing well. The beautiful game says I suggest Lampard uses the inverted octagon formation to confuse the opposition. I swear it just throws random shapes at the players. Oh my goodness. Kepa, Correa, Silva, Fafano, James, midfield, Kante, Enzo, and Mount. If fit, left wing, Mudrik, Felix, right, and Kai up front. We will do the lineup tomorrow. Plus, we will figure out the line, but the lineup, the structure, we believe it used. Hello, can you say hello to Adam for you? Okay. Adam, if you're watching, IB250 says hello to you. Hello, I don't know if it's your birthday or something. I just did that for you, so I hope you're happy. Lee Pochettino for sports, let him stay there. Ladi Pooper says, I think I agree with you. Let's push to for 100 likes. My brother from the Madiba land says, keep liking the video. We're 73, 27 more to get it to 100. I know that can happen. We'll have a few more minutes to round off. We can get 27 more likes to get it to 100, even though we haven't streamed for a while. So that's superb. You people are absolute legends. So thank you so much for that. What were the thoughts on Zakaria on the weekend? What happened to the players grasping the opportunities when they come? I've been crying out for him, and he drops that.
What's that?
That juice
on
the pitch. Here's the thing. I don't know if anybody have heard me say that. With regards to that Brighton game, I refuse to isolate any player's performance.
Do you know who looked good? Do you know who looked good, Coach? I think
Mudryk.
Gallagher
and Mudryk. Yeah, Gallagher did well, actually. He did well. Mudryk, and Kepa, the three of them. Here's the thing. I refuse to isolate any player's performance because I get it. Some players look better than the others. Like Gallagher, for instance, you mentioned Mudryk looks better. He had an assist, plus made some good moves. You can say it doesn't make sense to isolate. You can say on the day, there's nothing he could have done to look like he did well because the midfield was awful. We were outrun. So I wouldn't judge him with just that because I know he's a good player. My only concern has always been his fitness. Go ahead.
Yeah, Coach. You know who stood out that is not looking good, but he has since he stepped onto the pitch. His first is Badiashile. Badiashile all of a sudden looks lost, and you know that's not how he plays. So I don't get it.
So didn't that show you that something deeper is wrong with the team? That's why somebody was pointing at Colin Kepa for. I said I'm not going to isolate any player's performance.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm just not just this game, the previous 2 or 3 games. It's like when you look at how he has played for us historically since he's come to our team, he's played very well, Coach. But just I don't know. You know what? I didn't think we would sink this low. I just didn't.
I think that's even though honestly we played better the one they beat us for. Was it 4-1?
Something like that, yeah.
We played better on that day than we.
I tried to block those stats out, Coach.
They could have scored 8 goals.
Coach, I saw a stat that this is the worst, the most anyone's ever shot at us for since 2003.
At one point, it was like 70% ball possession for them, and 70 plus, and we were 20 something. I couldn't believe it.
We were playing at home, by the way.
Yeah,
this wasn't Anfield.
Maybe I forgot. Thank you for reminding me.
Sorry, Coach. It was. I actually watched it in disbelief. I
could not believe it.
No, I think it's the worst game that we've played in quite a few years, probably in many regards.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not just talking about statistically. I'm talking about how we played. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Overall, even eye tests and numbers all align.
Yes.
They all align.
Could see that.
Yeah. Let's see what else we have here. The only way we stop Vinny is if James sticks a claymore on the right wing. Okay, let's see.
A claymore.
Every player has now lost the first touch. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, I think that was why I refused to isolate any player for players' performance on the day. The UEFA Champions League win: Real Madrid 8, Barca 4, Bayern Milan 3 apiece. CFC Liverpool 2 each. Is that what it is, really? Oh,
What's that?
Liverpool and United 2 each. Inter, Juventus, Porto, Ajax, Marseille, Dortmund, 1 apiece. Wow. Okay. Thank you for that, JC. Let's see what else we have here before I bring in Bobby. Fair play to Modric showed us more in him. Yeah, there's more in him. And that's what I like about you. You've been his strongest critic, but you're always objective, really. Madrid last 5 matches in all competitions, 16 goals versus 1 goal for Chelsea, and we need 3 goals to go to the semifinals. Impossible for me. Like, I get it. On paper, it's impossible, but Chelsea is the club I support, and we always want my club to win. Until the man in the middle blows the whistle, we still have a chance. The best part about watching Chelsea lose is you will get to see a banger of a goal. It's a part of the past contract. 40% of goals conceded must be Puskás contenders. Yeah, I agree with you. Big up to you too, brother. What happened in the first Lampard stint is happening in the second stint, but in the second stint, it started immediately. The good players that we know are good at playing for James Badeshile, and expect Silva soon to be on the list. Oh my goodness, I agree with Roger. Approaching the game with no serious expectation, you will live long. This is our worst Premier League season by points and second worst in history for goals scored. Phew! I wouldn't even forget how bad Potter and Lampard have been for us. This will be hard to fix. But like I said, I still think we'll win tomorrow. So, but let me get Bobby start. Bobby, big up to you. How are you doing, brother? I hope you're doing well. Y'all touch on the game tomorrow. What do you expect? Do you think we're capable of overcoming the 2 goals deficit? Do you think we'll get again progress to the semifinals? Whatever you think, your thoughts.
Yeah, big up, guys. I mean, I'm not even talking about tomorrow, to be honest. I'm looking to remaining in the Premiership and plans going forward from the end of the season into the pre-season. I don't really expect anything tomorrow.
Well, just quickly, we're getting the statics feedback from your end, and it's bad, really. Roger, is it just me, or can you hear that too?
No, it's bad.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
It's bad, we can hear you, but it's bad with the static sound. It's irritating, really. Maybe you need to go back and come back in. Whenever you come in, you continue.
Can you hear me now?
Bobby.
Yeah, I think it sounds better. Go ahead. Wow, excellent.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm not expecting anything. I'm not even thinking about tomorrow. I'm thinking about the new manager. I'm thinking about the new pre-season. Look,
are you going
Chelsea's
to the game?
problem? No, not at all. As I told you, I've completely disconnected because I don't see any way forward.
You don't want to suffer anymore.
No, I don't. Chelsea. I didn't even watch the game.
Bobby.
I didn't watch the game over the weekend.
Really?
I don't intend to. I haven't seen the match. There's no point.
It's painful, Bobby.
Although Graham Potter was a disaster and the wrong appointment, I really believe that these problems started before the new ownership. This is what people are neglecting to see or to admit. This is part of the mismanagement of their darling Marina Granovskaya. She left us with players that we shouldn't have. We shouldn't have Kepa in goal. The contract given to him was wrong. And we've been languishing without correctly recruiting to positions that we greatly need. Now, when the rebuild has started, but the new ownership are, as far as I'm concerned, they are permitted to make some errors. They came into a difficult situation. They're trying to rebuild and take us back to the top. So it's going to be, strewn with errors. There's going to be mistakes made along the line, and they're certainly making them. Frank Lampard as an interim manager is clearly not the best, but hindsight is a good thing.
Yeah.
and they had to put somebody there, and they thought they could go with him, but it's not really showing to be working. All I'm looking for is that we manage to get over 40 points and prepare. And really, they need to name the new um, manager. He can sit and start studying the team, starts selecting who he's going to keep, who he's going to get rid of, and we prepare for a new season without European football. We make sure this time we have squad depth, dumb down and completely silence the fools that keep telling us to get rid of players, to go and sit and create squad depth for other people.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of Real Madrid's squad depth is due to players that Chelsea have got rid of. Same with Man City. That's not the way forward at all. We keep our very, very best, and they can take whatever rubbish is left over. And that has to be the way forward for us. So tomorrow, I don't know. I'm not really even thinking about it, to be honest. I'm not expecting anything at all. Sorry to sound
So
so
you don't
blunt.
think we
No,
can overcome the
realistic.
deficit and progress?
I can't see how. I can dream, but I mean, how? How? We're not scoring goals
Yeah.
and we're conceding. Those are the basics of football. So
Basic mathematics, right?
exactly. So I can't see. I don't. My logical brain cannot engage as to how that can be overcome. I mean, the only thing I could say is football is a funny thing. Stranger things have happened, but I'm not holding my breath.
We don't you agree, Bobby? We need a bit of luck, like having one of their players sent off, etc.
Even
Yeah,
at
sent
that,
off
even if
or
that happens,
injured.
it has to be 3 players sent off before we leave. That's how
Oh,
I see it.
go,
Yeah.
No, I
go.
have to be honest. Even though I think if to be certain we're gonna win it, it has to be 3 players sent off. With
Wow.
one, Carlo Ancelotti is experienced enough to still get something out of it.
Oh, sure.
Because
Sure.
here's
No,
the
I get
thing:
it.
let's assume they have one player sent off.
Yeah.
We have to be on the front foot if we really want to overcome them, and which means spaces in behind our defensive line.
Yeah, and they
Yeah,
have very fast wingers.
yeah, exactly. So
Vinicius Junior,
Well, he could pull a
Rodrigo.
hamstring. We need luck. That's what I'm trying to say. We need a lot of things to go right for us.
Yeah,
This
we
is
do.
other than that, I just don't see it transpiring. This
It,
is what I was talking about.
yeah, I mean it can happen.
Sure.
We've done it before, but you
Exactly.
see, we did it
Barcelona.
with Napoli, but we did it with
Oh
a
yeah.
with a bigger quality crop of players. Right now the squad lacks depth. There's nothing up front. The forward line is hopeless. People
more
like
importantly, a like great.
yeah. Well, there you
Our
go.
defensive line
Who
is banged up.
haven't I been screaming about physicality for
Yeah.
months? You see how important it is. Real Madrid, look at Tony Cruz, how he was bullying everybody in midfield. We go and buy Enzo and we think our job is done in midfield. It's pathetic. We need another solid, big, strong midfielder. That's just the reality. We definitely need a striker. We need to stop messing around, flirting about this whole idea of Guardiola, because he's going to waste too much money and
Yeah, we don't
stick.
need him.
We've got Levi Colwell. I think he's good enough.
Yeah.
And we need to
And
stop
Badiashile.
relying on Badiashile. We need to stop relying on the likes of Koulibaly too much. He's an old man. We bought him 6 years too late. Those are the sort of faulty buys of the current regime. But it was a fire sale and an emergency situation in the summer.
Yeah, we had no choice.
There's a lot to rebuild. Name the new coach. I said this on a stream. I want um, Enrique personally, but if the directorship in your likes of Vival and Winston Lee and Stewart say that Nagelsmann is the man, go for it. That's what they're there for. That's their job.
Yeah.
That's their job. So don't mess about. Go for it. They're there to make these sort of decisions. Personally, I don't think if we get Nagelsmann, well, I don't have any reason to oppose it, but it's just from what I see, my personal choice, and from the profile, would be Enrique. I think he would be better.
He's more.
You know,
He's the more experienced of the two. He's
more
won more.
experience,
He's won 9 trophies plus.
yeah,
In 2014,
readily available,
2015, he won the world best
yeah,
club coach.
readily
He's spent, yeah.
available, readily available, and will cost us money to get out of a contract. As
It doesn't have
um,
any scar tissue currently either.
exactly.
No.
So that's my personal. But however, you know, what do I know compared to Vival
Yeah,
and
that's what
you
I
know,
said.
if they say Nagelsmann is it, then he's it. So why waste time? Name the guy. He's definitely
I'm
not
good with
Lampard.
either of the two. But if you ask me for my preference, I say Enrique.
Yeah.
Can I ask Bobby and Coach? Listen, it's been 3 or 4 coaches, well, 3 coaches, 2.5 coaches that have not
I
really.
can't believe I'm hearing that.
No, they're not
No, it
using.
just sounds funny. 2.5. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Well, because of Bruno, you know, he only
I
had
know,
one.
I understood.
But you know, Dutra Fofana, they're not even getting him on the bench, and I'm a bit disconcerted about this. I mean, obviously he's not doing it on the practice field, but what we did see of him, I thought he looked quite good. He had physicality.
I wouldn't say that of Lampard so far. I think Lampard is just desperately trying to get something. So he's looking at the experienced lot,
Yes, no,
Yeah,
I get
rightly
I
that.
or
wouldn't even
wrongly.
have time for the kids.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So I think the Detro
that's normal.
Fofana argument will come about with the new manager. Be interesting to see what he does.
Mm, mm,
He'll
So
yeah.
probably
we'll
go
see.
out on loan, I suspect.
No, I think
I
he
don't
may
know.
not go. He
I
may not.
think
It
with
all depends on how
Nagelsmann, I
much
don't
we're
think
able
so.
to spend in the summer.
That,
Because if we're not going to spend in that much, I think we're going to keep him.
Well, you got your wish, Coach. We're not having any European games next year, by the looks of it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think I prefer that.
Yeah,
Honestly.
well, no. You know, it has its blessing. It's a blessing in disguise, perhaps. You know,
Hmm.
you have a valid
But
point.
financially, we'll hit the club's pocketbooks.
True, but that could be overcome with sponsorship also, because don't
Yeah.
forget, you know, that the what is it called, shark fin or whatever, whale um, contract is not being renewed next year, so we'll get an opportunity. But I don't know, Coach. It's and Bobby. You're right. We do need a coach to be announced at least before the season ends, or game or
Yeah.
two, and they need
Which
to
is why
strategize.
yeah, go ahead. We're
And they
learning.
need
Levi Cole was saying he's not going to make any decisions until the new coach comes in because the new coach might want to come in
Oh,
and sign a
geez.
new player.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
get it.
So yeah, Bobby says I don't have an issue with Mudryk the player. I have problems with how and why we sign him. The kid will be under more pressure for his career at Chelsea because people see him as another stunt. I think he would do well, but I get your argument. Coach, are you excited for the prospect that Chelsea might score a goal tomorrow? I think we'll get a goal.
Prospects.
I hope so, but I am happy. It seems Bobby had a nice weekend. Yeah, Bobby dodged the game, and I was still in Texas, but I saw his message saying Bobby got angry to the extent he had to use the SHIT word. I'm not gonna watch this SHIT game.
Yeah.
That's when I knew he was not gonna watch it. I saw his message in the group. I said, Bobby, serious, Mr. M. Lee cannot have. I'm not sure what you're saying there. So I'm not gonna try to read it. Maybe I read something that means something else. Coach, I am with Bobby on this one. I went to the first 3 games, then checked out when Potter came in because yeah, you're not sure what you're going to be watching. Not going to lie, I don't rate Kepa, but he
Good.
had a decent game in the weekend. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt.
Uh-huh.
Coach, you know, I've been supporting Chelsea since the 70s. I've seen the bad times. I don't want to see them again.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that again. That was why this weekend I went out with my family. I switched off all football. I'm not doing that nonsense. You know, all that craziness that we went through in the past of relegation and losing the club. And no, that's, you know, you guys can enjoy that. I'm
Yeah,
not doing that.
Bobby, I concur. I'm with you. We're probably the same age, give or take
Yeah,
a century, and
yeah, I'm
you
sure.
know,
I'm sure.
No, seriously.
I'm not. Yeah.
You guys
Yeah,
are killing me.
I'm
it
not.
hurts. I remember the second division. I went
Yeah,
most of the games were in the old second division.
yeah, done that. Done
That
all that.
yeah, I've done it, been there, done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
get it.
After spending 600 million in 2 windows and having the most directors in professional football, why on earth would we be blaming the prior regime? Okay, let's just move on for that. I don't want to get into that argument right now. I'm back, Constantine Dante. Always nice to see you back, brother. I appreciate that. Hello to you too, Constantine. What do we have here? Big up, Dante. Just saying hello to each other. 3 goals with this club. Chances are so slim. You never know. We did it against Napoli. The new manager indeed could have come in and said to the players, you may not have anything left to play for, but you are now playing for your future at the club. That will tell you who is invested. Wow. I think that's a good thing there. My friend Lava here says, come on, Blues, you have to believe you can win. The worst is over, which was playing at the Bernabeu. Now only good thing can come out. And we have a good record against them at Stamford Bridge, actually. Except for the howler from the goalkeeper. Arab Editai. Hi to you too, Arab. I hope you're doing well. He says, Madrid clear of Chelsea. Okay, you must be a Madrid fan. Let's see, what else do we have here? Koulibaly. Silvers. That's quoting Bobby's comment. Koulibaly is an old man and Silva is too young. I think that judgment is best than their performance. CFC want to win the match tomorrow. Lampard should start Kepa. Okay, Mason got there. What does we have? Chelsea lawyers are currently in Germany discussing Nagelsmann's release. Roger, I'm surprised you weren't invited. Are you serious or are you kidding, really? That may well be the case. Apparently, that Fofana isn't even good enough on the 21. These owners will learn something about using data in European football. Dacho Fofana is an excellent player. I'm still saying that. I think something happened on 2 occasions. He got opportunity on the ground, but I think he did well. Apparently, our owners are fine with Nagelsmann joining after this season ends. Basically, they are not pursuing an immediate effect manager right now. Oh, I wasn't hoping to see any manager coming again this window. We're stuck with another. Okay, I'm not reading that because I want to go to heaven. I heard Gallagher sneeze. What? Chimera, don't get me to read that kind of stuff. Pi's tweet, lawyers are in Germany, so probably they've made up their mind. That's what I'm saying. They've made up their mind that it's gonna be Nagelsmann. Oh, my friend Lalo here becomes a member. Lalo, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I cannot thank you enough, even though you're a Barcelona fan. But my promise is that through the other channel, Soccer Perspective, it will take on a life of its own very soon. I promise you that. Well, thank you. I appreciate you becoming a member. Yeah.
Coach, the Chelsea fan that was shouting at Bowley, does anybody know what he was saying?
Can
Sorry,
you say that again, Bobby?
The Chelsea fan that was shouting at Bowley.
No, I haven't heard anything with regards to what he said to Bowley. But I think somebody said, I've seen something, he said something to the effect of, you have to fix this.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, yeah, something to that effect. I think there wasn't anything insulting at each other because we would have heard about it had that been the case.
Yeah, I don't think it was. But he probably said what a lot of us was feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he said anything insulting. Because if he was insulting, I don't think Bowley will respond. So he's probably said something that may be close to a question. I don't know. Is there anything like close to a question? Or something like that may be a question, and Bowley tried to respond. Says I made my judgment on these technical directors after they sold Jorginho when they did. I think it was ill-timed. That's my opinion. But that's, by the way, I get your argument. Lolo, thank you so much. I appreciate that, my good friend. One day, Tumu, thank you so much. He says, I have been worried because you have not been online for a while. Hope all is well. Everything is fine. I traveled to Texas Plus. Also, I had a dental procedure that's not done yet, but that's the list of the issues. At Texas, I thought I was going to be able to. The streaming, I had the equipment was there, but yeah, the wife didn't like that. Yeah, it was more like a vacation too. Yep, J5 Enzo could have been a decent pairing. Honestly, I'd argue that, but we move on. Now, Gino was the weakest link at this, but okay, that's how you see it. Yeah, I've read that. Thank you so much, my brother, for your concern. I appreciate that. Let's see. Oh, you wrote that like 3 times. It's going to be Nagelsmann, coach. I think it's looking more like him. It's Jeff 5, Weston Gallagher, RSC, and Zakaria in the midfield. As I think the club wouldn't have sold him had it not been that the fact that he's on the final year of his contract. In the final year of his contract, they didn't just want to risk losing him on a free. It's as simple as that. I think you could say things actually got a bit worse for Potter the moment J5 wasn't available. Because there are instances where I personally believe he would have made a difference. Barley has turned out to be more of a danger than I even anticipated. I think he will come good. Just remember I told you that, but you're entitled to your opinion. But the blimey, this man is but blimey is a British thing. I think I've heard who says that a lot? I forget. But this man is a special case. But let's see what happens. Just remember, I told you it will be all right. My concern has always been the immediate future of the club. And again, once more, thanks to my friend Lalo for becoming a channel member. I appreciate that. Coming back to you, Roger, let me ask you. I haven't asked you this before. What was I going to ask you? Given the situation for the back line, what structure do you think he goes with tomorrow? I think that's going to be the last question I'm going to ask you because we don't have too much time.
I don't think we have the luxury of going with a back three because of we have too many people out. Silva is probably not starting. Am I correct? He's not playing. Is that correct?
No, he's going to play.
He is going to play. Okay, but Koulibaly's out. You've got
which makes it more likely for Silva to play as long as he can move, he can train. We need that leadership because without the leadership of either of the two, it will be shambolic tomorrow. But go ahead.
Yeah, Badiashile, obviously for obvious reasons. Then you've got our left back for obvious reasons with the red card, Chilwell. So it's going to be a makeshift for the most part. It's who's going to be able to play in a back three? We don't want Reece playing on a right back, right centre back, do we? So I think we're limited.
Yeah, but go ahead.
I think we're limited, and also we need to be more progressive. At least in the second half, we can't afford to concede anymore. I get that, but we need to score first in all likelihood, and to do that, we need to probably play with the back four. But what does that do for us defensively? So I don't know. Probably a 4-3-3.
I think he can also do with a back three. The Silva centrally, Fofana right centre back, Cucurella left centre back, Reece James right wing back, and somebody in the chart suggested. And I'm thinking since we need goals, there's a sense we see Mihailo Mudryk in the left wing back position.
Yeah,
that is in a 3 or 4 something structure. I think 3-4-2-1 or 3-4-1-2. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, he can still play with the back three, but there's a chance he goes with the back four. So go ahead.
Isn't that being a little bit naive defensively though? Because he's not primarily a defensive player. I get he's going to be.
Who are you talking? No, but with an attacking intent, just like
I get that. No, I get that. I understand the concept. I get what you're saying. I really do. But if that doesn't go well, playing players out of position as such.
You can play a back three. There's Chalobah.
Chalobah, no. I like Chalobah. He looks...
So Bobby, with Chalobah, who's going to be where? Right centre back Chalobah or Chalobah on the left in the back three? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, Chalobah on the right.
Right.
He can do right or left. I think he did left the other day when he came on for a short while. And Chalobah, Fofana, and hopefully Thiago Silva. That's your back three.
Yeah. Okay, I think with that, we're going to end it today. We'll do the lineup tomorrow because in the morning, we can still do the lineup and also, do the pregame show and the watch along. Roger, you wanted to add something? Sorry, did I cut you off rudely?
No, not
Okay.
at all. Just want to say it's really good for you to be back, and always a pleasure.
I
to be
missed you
on with.
guys, man.
Yeah,
I
ditto.
miss,
Likewise.
honestly, I miss you guys.
And it's so good to hear Bobby. Really is. You're a gentleman,
Yep.
sir. Good to hear you.
Yeah, at least I know he's not
indeed.
happy with his situation, but talking with his blue brothers, I think he enjoys that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good
Oh, for sure.
therapy, Obin.
It is
100%.
honestly I suffered a lot in Texas, but I had to pretend I'm happy. It's a vacation. You know that. I applaud the Chelsea fans that booed. Was it booing him, Paulie? The Brighton game. I am glad fans are reminding him of this disastrous situation. I think he'd be. I don't think any argument that that doesn't know that we're in a very bad place makes sense. It's going to be humbling. Another loss at home. One win in 8 games. Whew.
Wow.
Please, Bali should concentrate on Dina and leave football expert. I think that's the case. We have everything in place now. The structure is complete. I think the whole process will be seamless. And now, no more Champions League fairy tale. Wow. Let's see anything else. I'm just gonna say hello to everybody and anybody that I haven't read their comment. Real Madrid, Anita. Okay, you must be a Madrid fan. Who do we have here? Can Chelsea win? Never say never until the man in the middle blows the final whistle. That's when you know the game has come to an end. Hello to you too, Kim. So I hope you're doing well. How did your exams go? Unfortunately, we're running out. Chalobah versus Vinicius. A long day for him. Man was getting exploited by Mitoma. Wow, Mitoma, what a player, but we'll talk about him another day.
Yeah.
Let me just say what a game he had against us. Chelsea, last UEFA Champions League game inbound for a while, maybe. Coach, a final thought before leaving. Is there any CFC player which can walk into the Real Madrid team? And which one? Rhys James. They want him. And you know that. They want him. One positive, we don't have to see Chilwell play. Kante also, I think they will take Kante, yeah. Rhys James, yep, they will take Kante. And I think Ancelotti will take Silva too. The UEFA Champions League is over. Yeah, he will take him. Luka Modric versus Kovacic. Let's see what else we have here. Anita, all right. Thank you so much, guys. It's been an excellent show. Even though we haven't streamed for a while, we got 80 likes. And my friend Lala become a member of the channel today. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you, JC, for the excellent contributions there. I enjoyed it. Thank you. Let me use this window here. The other one is a bit slow. Thank you, Anita. Thank you, Chimera. Thank you, Kimso. Thank you, JC. Thank you, God of Frogs. Bobby, Fairview, everyone else. If I missed your name, apologies. I'm only human. And my brother Glenn, I appreciate you all. Thank you. And Bob Rigo also was on the panel, and Bobby on the panel, and Roger on the panel. Thank you. See you guys next time. And AD, God bless us all. And bye.
Take care, Coach.
Thank you, brother.